Welcome to Tru Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
Hello everyone, it's hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at Tru Heel Heat. Yeah!
It's Saturday morning, and you know what that means. It's time for some Tru Heel Heat, coming off of the historic 20th edition of our flagship podcast. We got a lot to discuss. Stone Cold Steve Austin possibly coming back for one more match at WrestleMania 39. Sasha Banks possibly done with WWE, a full jam-packed weekend. You had Impact Overdrive yesterday, as well as Smackdown and Rampage, Dynamite, Raw, NXT. You got AEW Full Gear tonight, as well as New Japan Pro Wrestling and Stardom, historic crossover. We're here to discuss it all with a very special guest. So let's get to some Tru Heel Heat. Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Tru Heel Heat 201, fully geared up for war. We are discussing the latest wrestling news, including Stone Cold Steve Austin possibly returning for a match at WrestleMania 39, Sasha Banks possibly done with WWE, recap of all the shows from the week, AEW Dynamite, Rampage, WWE Smackdown, Raw, NXT, NWA Hard Times 3, Impact on Access TV, Impact Overdrive, and more. Preview and predictions for AEW Full Gear 2022 tonight, plus much more. I am here as always with the beautiful, the lovely Miss Krssi Luv.
Good morning. Happy Saturday. Let's go. I'm ready for Wargames. Nope, that's next week. Sorry, wrong show. I'm ready for AEW's show. You know what I mean? It's too early. I'm tired. I've been up since like 5:30. I had to drop my son to take the standardized testing in New York. It's a lot. Sorry. Yeah. So I've been up.
Oh man, which one is he taking?
He's taking the specialized one where you try to get into the specialized high schools today. So
oh boy.
I'm not
Good
ready.
luck. Good luck to him. I know he's ready. That's what really matters. Good luck to him. This show is for him to get good marks, make Mama Krssi Luv proud. But we got a very
I'm happy to see you guys. Good morning. Let's do some wrestling talk.
We got a very special guest with us this morning, rejoining us, returning to the flagship podcast. He's been on here a couple of times. Order extraordinaire. He is the head man behind bodyslam.net. Our main man,
Sting
Cassidy
and RoboCop on your t-shirt? Yeah. Oh my God, that is super dope. I'm sorry. So sorry.
Capital Combat 1990 shirt I got from it was in a Pro Wrestling Tees loot box or whatever last month. The Pro Wrestling Tees
That's
box.
So dope.
Welcome back, Cass.
Yes, welcome, Cassidy. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was just like,
that's good. Hey, I wore this shirt just for you guys, so it's fine.
Yo, that is such a dope. That is so cool.
Yeah, I changed out of my I literally was like, let me swap shirts because this Wu-Tang Clan shirt's just not as topical as a Sting and RoboCop shirt.
No, well, we all love the Wu-Tang, but you know, still.
I've
had that shirt since 1998 too, and it looks like it. It's fucking rough, but
but that's what makes it still like good and authentic, though. That's the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
you'll tell the difference between the new ones and the old ones.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I heard SP3's rundown of what all was going on this week, and I'm already way underprepared. That was so much more. That was so much more. I asked him last night. I was like, "Hey, what do I need to, so I don't sound like an idiot?" And he's like, gave me 3 things. He's like, "Oh, just Smackdown, Raw, Dynamite, Full Gear, all that. We're good." And then there's so much more you just ran down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's usually on me to do this. So I mean. I usually go to everybody in the stuff that I know they are prepared for. So don't worry.
We'll see what kind of commentary I can add to some of this. It's like, oh, Impact. Hey, I didn't watch that. So can't help you there.
It's totally fine. Don't trust me, Krssi. You're preaching to the choir here with Krssi here, who really has prepared on everything that we usually discuss here, but. Cass, how are you feeling? It's been a while since we had you on the show. What you been up to?
Not much, man. It's literally just been kind of laying low this month because WrestleCade's next weekend, and that's like my favorite weekend of the year. So I'm ready for WrestleCade, man.
Cool. Love to hear it. I know a lot of people going to be out there having fun. So look up Cass if you're going out there for WrestleCade. But we appreciate everyone who's joining us here Saturday morning, 11:05 a.m. Eastern time, the usual time for the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way. Drop the thumbs up on this video. Share it with your friends. Subscribe if you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. Drop a like, a heart, a laugh, an angry emoji. However wrestling made you feel this week if you're watching us on Facebook, and retweet us if you're watching us on Twitter. And of course, this is an interactive podcast, so we want to hear from all of you. Let us know your thoughts on the weekend wrestling. Sound off in the live chat. Your super chat donations are always appreciated. We don't want anyone breaking their pockets to show their appreciation, but if you're feeling a little bit generous, you have a little bit extra, you want to show your love, that's the best way to have your comment highlighted on screen and show your appreciation for what we do here. We got the Negro Buck Nick Jackson in the live chat saying Tru Heel Heat, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. We got Annika, who's like Krssi, who's skipping this week and just ready for War Games for next week. We got
I didn't mean that. I'm actually very excited for tonight. I'm sorry. It just wrong show came out. It's okay. It's okay.
It was natural. Ash Nash here with us. We got Ace here with us in the live chat. We also got CM says, as long as he answers all the questions, he'll be good. I guess CM,
I'll try my best.
You'll be good. You'll be good. She's got your back. CM is our resident attorney in the live chat. She's always got the people on screen's back. So she's got your back if I ask any hard questions, and she'll call me out. We got Vala B with an early super chat donation. Thank you so much, Vala B. We always appreciate the love you show us. Saying, how's it going, my dogs? He is feeling good, but I think that the my dogs era might end next week, but we'll get into that from what we saw on SmackDown last night. But let's get into how we start every episode of Tru Heel Heat's flagship podcast with our Tru Heel Roll Call, where we shout out everyone who supports us on social media, as well as the Tru Heel's group page on Facebook. Our top 3 conversation starters over there is Argina Bismo, Alan Weinstein, and of course, number 1, the Negro Buck Nick Jackson. Nick Jackson, as well as Alan Weinstein, are a part of our Patreon backers, supporting us at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat, as well as Vala B, who's in the live chat right now, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Austin K, You My Boy Blue, Yachty, Robert, Steve, Antoine, 5th Generation Carney, DJ Eric, Ladarius, John, aka Russell Scopes, Dan, Kobe, Queen Moan, and Dolores. We appreciate each and every one of you for supporting us at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. But we got to get into this crazy week in wrestling. A lot to discuss, a lot that we miss from this past week, let's start with AEW since it is AEW Full Gear weekend. And we'll start with AEW Dynamite from Bridgeport, Connecticut this past week. Very much down in the ratings, the second lowest total viewership for the show of 2022, the lowest viewership for the show since June. It did only 818,000 viewers for Wednesday's show. The show featured a weird final segment between AEW World Champion Jon Moxley and MJF, where John forgot the day of the pay-per-view. The firm got involved. MJF still trying to be the baby face in this whole situation, although he did beat up the firm very easily. So I don't know if he's that much of a baby face. He cut a very good promo, and the final shot before we ended Dynamite had William Regal in between Jon Moxley and MJF. A little bit of foreshadowing, maybe.
Yes, I'm about to say it's showing that he might be helping MJF. I don't know. I hope the rumors are not true.
You also had Death Triangle. They defeated Top Flight and AR Fox, a star-making performance for AR Fox in a spectacular trios match for Death Triangle to retain the AEW World Trios Championships. Post-match, it was revealed that the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, will challenge for the titles at Full Gear tonight. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, cut the promo of her lifetime ahead of her showdown with Saraya at Full Gear. You also had Samoa Joe cut a great heel promo leading to Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow coming out to interrupt for a three-way brawl between the three beefy men, with Wardlow standing tall ahead of the TNT title match at the pay-per-view. You also had the Acclaimed. They dropped their latest music video with Captain Insano, Paul White, as his old Waterboy personality. You had fake Swerve in Our Glory ahead of Swerve Strickland beating and injuring the shoulder of Anthony Bowens on the show. And you also had Claudio Castagnoli and Bryan Danielson of the Blackpool Combat Club defeating the Jericho Appreciation Society, with Claudio making Jericho tap to the sharpshooter in a fun opener. Cass, what did you think about Dynamite this week? What was your kind of highlight or low light from this week's show?
I enjoyed Dynamite. Too bad nobody watched it, apparently. But I thought it was a good show, which I thought was weird because usually go-home shows do pretty well. But I don't know why nobody. I don't know. There wasn't anything competing, really. I mean, sports-wise, that I felt would have taken away the ratings. So I don't know what happened. But it was a good show that nobody watched. I enjoyed it. I liked I mean, like you said, that trios match was great. I love watching AR Fox work. I've seen him wrestle for 15 years in my area down here. So, I love it. But the show was good, man. I like the promo work, too. Like you said, there's a lot of good promos to set up everything. I thought it was a good show that progressed us to this weekend's pay-per-view.
It just had one of the worst crowds as well.
Yeah,
they were just boring. Oh,
yeah, those Connecticut crowds, even
dead.
for WWE. It's WWE. It's usually WWE country, and it was very much like a WWE crowd where they didn't really react to anything in the matches unless it was a big move. They didn't really react to the promos and stuff.
Nothing.
But Connecticut has been a weak crowd even for WWE. That one of those, I think it was either the Raw or the SmackDown had one of the worst.
You know what
crowds.
that means, right?
They were there last night, right? One SmackDown in Connecticut last night. Yeah,
I think so.
Yes,
so
they were in Hartford, I believe. So stop going to Connecticut. That's just what it is. Bottom line, don't go to Connecticut. That's one state you need to just stay out of. It's okay. It's fine. It's great. Sorry if you're listening, you're from Connecticut, but you need to talk to your peoples.
I take offense to that because I will be from Connecticut very, very soon.
God bless you. My brother lives there, so you know.
What did you think of the show? We usually go to you for a women's wrestling perspective, so I wanted to ask you your opinion on Dr. Britt Baker's promo on this show ahead of her match with Saraya. But your overall thoughts on Dynamite this week.
I'm like Cassie. I thought the show was good. I'm sorry that the crowd wasn't into it. People really didn't watch it because it was a good, decent go home show. But yes, I think Britt did very well. Now it's giving me confliction because I'm I don't know how Saraya is supposed to win from that. And it's your first match back. I really don't. If you lose, that's terrible. And if you win, is that good either? I don't know. I'm conflicted. I don't know what to say for her first big match. This is supposed to be a big deal. And I don't know if something crazy is going to happen and interrupt it is going to be something really like mind blowing. But other than that, I mean, women did great that for that night too. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Britt Baker cut a babyface promo. That's
right.
Her,
she was
that was definitely
the
not. It was not a heel promo. That's all I will definitely
like. I
say,
felt that one. Like it was like a big. Like it was really big.
I loved it, and I said, like I said, I think it was one of her best promos of her career. But
yeah,
it definitely wasn't the type of promo that I was really expecting, because I was like, you would want to kind of lean more into being the heel after the reaction Saraya got last week, and she definitely didn't do that. She cut a promo like she was upset with what Saraya had to say last week.
Right.
But
like, I'm gonna just one up you, so it's okay.
We'll talk more about that as we predict the card for Full Gear, but there was a bunch of news coming out of AEW Dynamite this week. Of course, if it's AEW, we got to talk about CM Punk. And the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that CM Punk is said to be doing really well at the moment, rehabbing his torn triceps. Meanwhile, CM Punk himself noted some progress with his healed broken foot. In a post on his Instagram stories, he wrote, "First time doing road work since the broken foot. For anyone out there going through it, the light at the end of the tunnel is you." The Wrestling Observer newsletter notes that Colt Cabana, appearing on a recent episode of Dynamite to wrestle Chris Jericho, reportedly didn't help the strained relationship between Punk and AEW. While Punk maintains he had nothing to do with Cabana's absence, a lot of the talent in the company reportedly believe otherwise. Is something that's openly talked about backstage, and Cabana's return only exacerbated that. It was Tony Khan's decision to bring Colt back and not an idea that was pitched to him. There has been no change in Punk's status with AEW thus far. He is still under contract, and AEW was still selling his merchandise as recently as this past week at the arena. Since CM Punk had a dramatic falling out with AEW at the September's Fall All Out show, it raises the question of what Punk will do next if he never returns to AEW. During Monday's edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer reported how some within WWE currently view a potential CM Punk return. There are people within WWE who absolutely do not want him there. However, Meltzer noted that while there are those who do not want Punk back in WWE, they are not part of the WWE creative team. The attitude of the people who do not want Punk is because of what happened with him in AEW, thinking, do we really want that? Do we need that? Meltzer added that the decision would ultimately not be up to them, though. The other issue that could prevent a Punk return to WWE is his reported AEW contract buyout. It's been rumored that Punk is negotiating a buyout of his contract, which would include a non-compete clause. As of note, PW Insider reported that CM Punk actually was appeared on television for one of the first times since All Out at the Cage Fury Fighting Championship on Friday night, and they actually made light of his situation in AEW. He cracked a joke doing commentary. They talked about his co-host made a joke about Punk being injured and joked that the promotion would be Fury Pro Wrestling next year. Punk responded to the injury crack by saying, "Everything hurts. I'm nursing everything," and quit to the second part by saying, "I'm bad news. You don't want me in the locker room." Commentator John Morgan then replied, "That dude will mess up the whole organization. I like working here. Don't let him do any press conferences."
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's awesome. That is great. What do you think about this CM Punk update? Cass, with him, rehabbing from his injury, and the situation with Punk in AEW, kind of in a muddy situation, because we did have during the media call on Thursday, Tony Khan being asked about it, and he was very, praising of CM Punk, saying that he has nothing but positive things to say about his contributions on screen and his contributions and all the positive things he did for AEW. So is there a chance that we could see CM Punk back in AEW, or where do you stand on this whole situation?
I don't think so. And didn't he get removed from the video game trailer yesterday too?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And the cover, like he's not on the cover photo anymore. I think he's still on like the banner on the website, but I think that'll be gone eventually too, because he's definitely not on the cover for the game anymore, and he's gone from the video for the trailer. So I think that says a lot too there about what's going to happen with him. I mean, you put him on the cover of that video game when you launched it. Now you're taking it off, so I don't think he's gonna be around. Yeah, like he was front and center in the middle of that box or the cover for the photo there. So yeah, I don't think he's not good. It's not good. I don't think he's coming back.
No, it doesn't look too good as far as the likelihood of CM Punk being back in AEW. I'm just one of those fans that I would love for it, because I'm sorry, as much as there's that fan base that wants CM Punk to come to like WWE. If they do want CM Punk to wrestle again, they want to see him come in WWE. I'm sorry, the more money matchups, the more interesting feuds that I want to see are all in AEW. Like I want to see MJF versus Punk again. I want to see Punk versus Omega. I want to see Punk and FTR versus the Elite. I want to see Punk and Danielson versus the Young Bucks more than I want to see Punk versus Austin or Punk versus Reigns. The top matches on WWE are like 5 and 6 matches back from the AEW matches that I want to see with Punk. But what do you think, Miss Krssi Luv? Do you think there's a chance we could see Punk back in wrestling, but in a WWE ring?
I don't know. Anywhere he goes, it seems like it's gonna be like an issue. Whether it's just him. It's no one else really. It's just, and it's been proven now. Now you can't. Everyone is not gonna keep telling the same lie. If he does come back to wrestling, great. I mean, I watch, but I mean, I just hope that he doesn't bring the trouble with him. But no, he is. He's just. What's his sign? Can someone tell me his sign? Because it kind of will make more sense for me. But I don't know. Like but I would rather him stay at AEW. Yes, I don't want to see him go back to like. Do we want to see him with Roman Reigns? Maybe Seth Rollins. That's only one person, really.
That's interesting. Yeah,
that would be the only interesting.
But like I said, I still stand by the statement.
October 26th is his birthday, so I don't know what that means for signs. I'm not a.
Oh, he's a Scorpio.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's a Scorpio.
That makes a lot of sense then. Damn, he's mad, super sensitive. Oh God. And he's a troublemaker. He's massive. Yep. That makes so much sense. Great. Yep.
When he last year when he showed up and he signed, I was talking to some people in WWE, and they told me they were laughing. They're like, "Haha, he's their problem now."
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like
that was my quote from my WWE sources for 2 of them. They laughed. Both of them said something similar, but it was he's their problem now. So like I don't think they want him. I mean, a lot of people don't.
It's just he's a liability anywhere he goes. It's just what it is. It's unfortunate. It's like know how you had that
anything different.
You have like that one student, like no one wants to take them into class. They're like, oh, like, can he sit here in your class for a few minutes, he or she? And it's just like that one bad kid, and it's always like ruins it.
I just watched that whole season of The Wire. Season 4 of The Wire is all about those kids. Yeah, I just finished that last night, actually. So
see what I'm saying? Like it's just it's that one child, like no teacher want, then there has to be that like teacher that got like real good thick skin that was like, you know what? I'll take the L for this and like figure it out. But like no one wants to do that now. It's just no one wants to. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. CM Punk. I that's what I said after this whole situation went down. That the best thing for him is to just be done with wrestling. He can't. He lived long enough in WWE to die the hero, and now he's lived long enough in AEW to die the villain. He's the villain now coming out of this. I think this whole situation and the way he will probably leave AEW will come off worse in retrospect than how he left WWE.
Was it Johnson or somebody that put out that he's got the wrestling bug again, though, that he's wants to wrestle? So it's like, well, where is he gonna go if he can't go to either one of those places? Can't go to ROH either anymore. Apparently. So where are you gonna go? I mean,
TNA.
You can hang out with Bobby. You can hang out with Bobby Fish and Impact. I guess they can finish that.
He's gonna reunite with Raven, And
Bobby Fish is there waiting on him. They can finish that. So
and Julio De Niro, all that good stuff. We got Athena who says, I think Punk should just go and cleanse himself at cage fight once he's cool and the locker room is cool. Slowly let him back in the AEW backstage. I don't think that a decision should be made right now. Honestly,
no, just chill out.
He's hurt. He's hurt. Regardless of if it was all smoothed over, he wouldn't be back.
Yeah.
And we all know when Punk's sitting at home, he got time to let things fester like he did that Hangman Page line.
Yeah, he had a month. He had a month before that press conference to stew on everything and unload on Nick. So like he's just been sitting there festering. So it's not good.
And then he had 2 months to let the Hangman line. Like he let the Hangman line, which wasn't that big a deal. It just came off weird to some people in the moment. And he let that fester and let it sit. Like he didn't even let it out during the Double or Nothing post media scrum when he won the title from Hangman. That was the time to do it. That was when Vince was still in WWE. So he chose this time specifically. I don't know. Maybe he chose it because he does know there's a reasonable option out there for him now.
I mean, he made himself relevant, but definitely the most talked about person again in wrestling for the last couple months. So, I mean, if nothing else, like, was it no such thing as bad publicity, I guess, or whatever? So
crazy,
who knows?
Crazy. We got Nick Jackson saying, "LOL." Krssi asking what Punk's sign is again.
I know.
We got to the bottom of it.
Yeah,
we did. We did.
They said go to GCW.
God, that would go over well. As straight edge as he is.
Nick Gage versus CM Punk, man, sell a ticket. That's gonna sell out the Hammerstein.
You know,
that would definitely sell out the Hammerstein for real.
Yeah.
Nick's at WrestleCade, and I get to pick him up from the airport and be his handler all weekend. So
nice. You're gonna have a wild weekend. So hit up Cass if you're.
KG's staying with me. I got to pick up KG from the airport Friday. It's gonna be a weekend, guys. It's gonna be.
You're gonna have a blast. It's gonna be a good time at Cass's this weekend.
Come find me. Yeah, come find me on the streets of Winston. I'll be out there, baby.
Other AEW news, more sad AEW news though. Adam Cole, another person who's been absent from AEW television as of late. He's been absent since suffering a concussion at AEW X New Japan Forbidden Door. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that a number of people have brought up being very concerned for him. It was previously reported last month that Cole's return to AEW could be tomorrow, and it could be never because it's a concussion injury that he's dealing with, which can be unpredictable sometimes with recovery. We all wish, Adam Cole all the best in his recovery from the injury. Hope to see him back in the ring very soon. But Kaz, what do you feel about this whole situation, which hasn't been talked about that much because of all the backstage nonsense, but it is kind of scary that he's been gone this long.
Yeah, that's not a good sign too, especially if it's just a concussion. Like I've had bad concussions and they take a long time. The ones that take a long time to heal, man, those are the scary ones, man. Like I had one that was about 16 months before I was from when I got in a car wreck. So like, but that was a car wreck. So it's like, damn, how bad was that one in that? I was at that match too. And I didn't even
look like that bad.
But
wow.
Yeah, that's not a good sign when people are saying that, you might not be able to wrestle again because of a concussion. What was that? Who else was that? Was that Daniel Bryan at one point had something similar, right? So
yeah. Brian's whole concussion injury.
Or Danielson, Brian Danielson.
Yeah, that kept him out for a while. That didn't seem that serious, and then it winded up being that serious. Sometimes it's like that. Those concussion injuries are so unpredictable. So
yeah, you never know what can happen. Like if he gets another one, it could be really, really bad, or it could heal and be nothing. You never know.
And for a guy that, always had these kind of big, high impact moves being done on him, like throughout it all, and I think I remember the move. Like I don't really remember the move, honestly, from Forbidden Door that took him down. I remember that he ducked the Rainmaker, and I would think the Rainmaker would be something kind of similar to like the whole Hangman Page situation, which we should update that Tony Khan did address the health of Hangman Adam Page. He's still out with the concussion. He's said to be doing well, but he's still going to be out for a little bit longer with his concussion. But Adam Cole, I feel for him because honestly, the roster, even without CM Punk, it feels like it's like one Adam Cole away from being like pretty much perfect. Even without CM Punk, it's a perfect roster. And Adam Cole has so many money matchups that they still haven't even touched upon, like him and Moxley, him and Omega. You know, you could put him back with the Kingdom and finally do your whole Cole 6-man against the Elite that you've been wanting to do for months. But what do you think about the whole Adam Cole situation, Miss Krssi Luv?
It's sad and unfortunate. I pray and I hope that it gets better. But again, like, I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to school for none of that stuff. So it's just like, I just hope that he just gets well. Like, even if it's sad to say, I hope if you can't wrestle, then I'm sure there's other things that you can do. But right now, I just pray that he just gets himself better in a good space and positivity sent to him.
Yes, sending nothing but positivity Adam Cole's way as hopefully he recovers from this concussion injury. Other news though coming out of Dynamite this week, more of the more lighter news. AR Fox, like we said, had a standout performance during Wednesday's episode of AEW Dynamite, and he was rewarded for his efforts after the show. AEW posted a clip from backstage of an interview with Fox when Lacey Nair told him that Tony Khan had offered him a contract. Khan previously praised Fox's work in his appearances on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation. Fox said of his AEW Dynamite debut, he said, "It's unbelievable to me. I don't think I have the words to describe it. I grew up about 10 minutes down the road and I had my mother in the crowd here for a moment I thought I might never reach. So yeah, I just don't know how to. I'm just waiting to be alone so I could cry." According to a report by Fightful Select, while AR Fox signing with AEW is not yet confirmed, AEW sources reportedly expected him to sign with the company. And he then posted on Thursday to Twitter. AR Fox wrote, "Hey, yo, the support is crazy. Thanks to every single person. I'm overwhelmed. Haven't had a dry eye for like 24 hours. Let's go." And like you said, Cass, you've been close to, the AR Fox and a lot of his trainees, his hand in the people that he has been, helped to train, of course, most notably being Austin Theory in WWE.
Wow.
AR Fox has been revolutionary to, the style, the high flying style. A lot of people have taken from him or adapted from him. His work in, Lucha Underground. I always say, go out of your way to see the greatest death match in network television history, which is Dante Fox versus Killshot, aka Sean Strickland, all the way back in, I believe that was 2016, 2015. But what was your thoughts on AR Fox's performance, and how happy are you that it looks like he's going to get a contract from AEW?
Oh man, he did great. He always does. He always shows out, and I've been a big fan of his work forever. And like, I love what he does with the WWA 4, or is that it? WWE 4A or A4, whatever it is down in Atlanta. I'm my letter. I get dyslexic with my letters sometimes, but man, he does good stuff, and he's put out a lot of good people too down there. I think Danny Jordan trained under him a little bit too down there for a while, and he's just great. Long overdue. I mean, I remember watching him Dragon Gate USA. He was a big part of that back in the day too when they were around. And like you said, Lucha Underground. Like, I thought that was going to be like, okay, finally, everybody's going to see him, and then we'll see him all over the place, but we didn't. But Tony even mentioned him a little bit on the media call. Somebody asked about him. And they talked about him being used to help train people too, like his role backstage or whatever. So, I mean, it sounds like he's signed the way that Tony addressed it on the media call, because he was definitely talking about his influence with wrestlers backstage too, and how they haven't really talked about that, but he thinks it's going to be positive having him around. So, and I think it will be too. He's just a tremendous, like a coach, a tremendous, trainer, and he knows the business really well. So he'll be good all over. He can help agent matches if you want to do that. He's just, he can do everything, man. He's great.
And I came up with the idea on A Ramble, and I'll say it here. I want AR Fox to be the man behind the camera when Swerve broke Billy Gunn's fingers, and I want Swerve and AR Fox to be a team coming out of Full Gear. I want them to be a heel duo.
Heel turn. Yes.
Heel duo.
I like that. I like that.
I'm just waiting for Keith Lee to get his shit together so we can finally, like, come on, stop acting like you don't want to be a heel. Like, it's okay.
You don't want to be.
You don't want to.
He's too nice.
You don't want to.
He's a nice guy. He wants to know the mathematical probability of the Swerve Our Glory beating the Acclaimed, like the video said. Great stuff there. Someone who is doing great stuff on Dynamite, or has been doing great stuff over the past couple of weeks since his return at All Out, is of course MJF, and he cut a promo for the fans in attendance at AEW Dynamite after the show. PW Insider reports that MJF stood in the ring after the cameras went off the air, calling Tony Khan to the ring. He promised he wouldn't shake Khan down for money, and asked the audience if they had fun tonight, and asked if they came to see John Moxley. He then asked who they came to see, and MJF got chance. MJF then said that he wanted to get real with the fans, and said a lot of bullshit has gone on, noting that he's been at odds with Khan, and won't pretend that isn't the case, but wants to comment on something he's been seeing as of late. He asked fans if they were wrestling fans, and they cheered before he said he asked the crowd to make noise if they are wrestling fans, and they popped. He said, and I quote, "You guys say you are wrestling fans. Imagine for 1 second if you had the opportunity to bring your love of professional wrestling out to the world, to create an alternative. Would you do it?" The crowd then cheered, and MJF said Khan busted his ass every week to give the fans and everyone in the back the chance to show the world how much they love wrestling. He said they risk their lives in the ring and don't take that lightly, and that he doesn't take lightly to someone coming into my company and dropping trowel and taking a dump. That shit ain't happening anymore. He said that this is the place, and it's here because of Khan, noting that without Khan, professional wrestling is a monopoly. And MJF said he loves the WWE, but that your favorite wrestlers don't get paid properly or eat properly unless Tony Khan makes that alternative. He then said he's going to carry AEW on his back, and then told Khan to pay up in the bidding war of 2024. He then said to buy Full Gear because he's winning the title. Before leaving, Khan stayed and took pictures with fans at ringside. But the dropping trowel and taking a shit, he's not going to allow that anymore. A lot of people saw that as another subtle reference to CM Punk that MJF has been doing a lot of lately, mostly during that final promo on AEW Dynamite this week, where he made the reference to the first line of the pipe bomb when he said that while you laid there, John, in as much pain as humanly possible. He also said the devil line that CM Punk has been known for. So Kaz, what do you think about MJF and these subtle references to CM Punk, as well as his comments about Tony Khan, which said a lot of where they are from where they were in May?
Yeah, it's been interesting to see that progress to where we are. But I like the shots at CM Punk. Why not, right? He took plenty of shots at MJF during that press conference, basically by saying he didn't want to work with children, and that was who obviously it was the next program with. So. Yeah, I would definitely be taking shots too. I don't blame
all of them. Now.
Take as many as you can. What's it gonna do? What's he gonna do?
Take the smoke.
Yeah. He's gonna make a joke on. He's gonna make a joke on cage fight commentary. Yeah. That's what he's
right.
Gonna do.
Yeah, like why even put him on MMA commentary? Another thing. It's not like he adds anything to that. Like that's just a damn ratings grab. I'm not gonna lie.
The way you just said that, Cass, is like you really wanted to say that before, and then I brought it up again. And you just had
I was like, all right, we moved on. I'll come back to it. But yeah, why put CM Punk at MMA commentary, bro? Like he lost like the fights we saw, he lost all of them. But before that, he like if you ever heard Bisping, you heard Bisping talk about his training fights. He's like, dude, he lost like 19 training fights. He was like 0-19 leading up to his debut. So it's like, what does this guy add to any MMA commentary at all? Is pointless and stupid to me, but whatever. I mean, it got attention. It got we've been talking about Cage Fury fighting. If not, anybody, so
that is true.
It works for him. So I mean, they did something right there, I guess.
Hey, it works. Hey,
he's available, right? Apparently, he's not going to be on TV anywhere else, so why not have him on there? So.
Exactly. That's hey, if he's got time, why not use him? But that wasn't the only things. We had all that news from AEW Dynamite. Had a good show, AEW Dynamite, or a so-so show, depending on how you feel. I will say John Moxley looked like he was done. He's ready for his vacation. And the fact that he didn't know the day he did, and I feel like the build up to this match at Full Gear has been really good, but they didn't stick the landing there.
Mm-hmm. He had me convinced. I was like, wait a minute, is it Sunday? I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Saturday, right? And I had to look, I had to Google it. I think I tweeted about it too. I was like, man, he's got me confused at this point. But.
Oh, I love it. It's great. It's great stuff.
Ashford Nash asked the question. I don't have any problem with Scorpios. I know a lot of Scorpios. That's why I can attest to what CM Punk is. I know some great Scorpios and I know some horrible Scorpios. So it's just if you're a Scorpio, I'm sorry, friend. It's okay. Some of your people that has your sign are trash. It's okay. Love you though, okay?
Some of the people that have your sign are trash. This is quotes to live by Krssi Luv. Well,
I'm not lying. Anyone knows can attest to it. I'm just saying. Like,
didn't call you a liar.
Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just sorry,
not at all. Not at all.
I love you though, so it's okay.
Let's talk about AEW Rampage from last night. They had a pretty stacked show with a couple of big matches, as with Ricky Starks beating Lance Archer to open the show to advance in the world title eliminator tournament to the semifinals, where he'll face Brian
Lance
Cage.
Archer can't get a break, friends.
Never.
I love Ricky Starks, but man, poor Lance Archer, right?
Yes, exactly. Same. Like
I felt like the way they laid this match out, though, this put him over. He caused chaos. He doesn't care about wins and losses, and
that's what it seems like, though.
That's what the roll up was so good. That spear into the roll up was so good. So
yes,
and then after the match, though, Archer choke slam Starks on the steel steps after a distraction from Brian Cage. So, like I said, I think that Archer didn't lose much, even though I'm sure there are people out there that feel bad that he wasn't able to advance here. I think it was right. Ricky Starks went over, though.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I think Lance Archer is at the point where he just likes to get paid. He shows up, does what he has to do, and then he leaves.
One of the more interesting parts of last night's show was Athena confirming her heel turn by beating Madison Rayne and then attacking her after the bell. And then she committed one of the biggest heel moves in AEW history. She struck referee Aubrey Edwards to the shock of the fan. Like, nothing these two women did in the match got a reaction until Athena punched Aubrey Edwards, because they protected Aubrey Edwards, and it mattered when she got punched that the fans reacted huge. And this, they laid her out. She kept attacking Madison Rayne until ROH Women's World Champion Mercedes Martinez made the save. You also had Hook retain the FTW Championship over Lee Moriarty, and you had Jun Akiyama and Konosuke Takeshita defeat Ortiz and Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston can never get a win. It's I don't understand this.
He gets it tomorrow.
He's another one. He just gets paid. He loves what he does, and then he leaves. That's just great.
Well, I was surprised because I thought Eddie would win here, but then after the show, though, they announced that Kingston challenged Akiyama to a singles bout on the Full Gear 0 Hour pre-show. So it made all the sense in the world.
Got it. Okay.
Kingston was like, let him win the tag match, and then I'll get my win back on the 0 Hour pre-show.
Right, and then he wasn't even pinned, so that's what it is. Okay, got it. Okay, Ashford Nash, I am an Aries, Team Aries, friend. This is why I love you. There you go, friend. See, this is why you love me.
I saw somebody say asking when the last Saturday pay-per-view. Wasn't it Revolution?
No, wasn't it?
No.
That was a Sunday. The last Saturday pay-per-view is he always puts Full Gear
on Saturday.
Yeah,
I think he talked about that on the.
It's always been like that. Okay,
because it's during the football season. It's the only one. It's the only one during the football season, so that's why he doesn't put it on Sunday.
And I think the other ones are also there's usually a holiday on Monday, so it's like you got that buffer day too. But yeah,
he thinks about when he uses his pay-per-views like smart people should.
He's got 4 of them. You got time to plan them out instead of
this is true
every month and watering it down. So
yep.
Hopefully he schedules Forbidden Door properly, where it spaces it out. That it's not.
So we're not in Chicago within 30 days of each other twice.
Right.
That and not 2 back-to-back pay-per-views within 30 days of each other. That was a little much.
Within 20 miles of the same building.
That was like crazy. Like, what the hell? But yeah, Cass, what did you think about last night's Rampage live in Newark? Did you like the decision to put over Ricky Starks? And then what did you think about the Athena heel turn?
I liked all of it. I thought, you got to go with Ricky. You got to pull the plug on Ricky and do something with him finally. Yes. And I think it's good to move him along. They signed him knowing he's going to be a star, so it's time to push him as one.
Yep.
Athena, you got to do something with her. I think she was kind of stale as just another baby face in the division. So having her be a heel is good. I think they don't have enough heels anyway. Everybody's a baby face in that division for the most part, except for Britt. That's about it. So, and Jamie's kind of a tweener. So it's like, she's kind of a heel, but not, because the crowd doesn't accept her as a heel. So make Athena a heel, make her a badass. And I think it's great. Good for her.
Yeah, because I think Jamie and Jade are kind of the same way, where they're heels, but they get the reception like baby faces because people like them and they're badass. But yeah, I think they made the right decision with Ricky Starks, and I think the whole reason they postponed the tournament is for Ricky Starks to win this tournament.
Yeah,
I think that he is the most likely to get the W there. But what did you think about Athena striking Aubrey Edwards on this show, Miss Krssi Luv?
I'm here for it. Like she thinks that she couldn't be touched, and I think that they've had her like, because she's the only female. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
She's the only female referee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that her first bump too?
Yeah,
I think that was her first bump. They've kept her like, they've sheltered her for so long. It was like, yes, like you can get these hands too, sis. Like, just because you're a girl, none of the guys probably won't touch you, but a female can.
I liked it.
I
loved it.
Too.
It
made it meaningful. It made Athena's heel turn and it
made it very meaningful, and it looked great. It happened, like you said, that was the only pop that you really got last night. So that's great.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed my boy Hook and Lee Moriarty. I thought
that was great too. That was a good one.
They got some time too. They got
they got. I was like, this is the longest Hook match I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think it was like 15 minutes, 12 minutes, something like that.
It was really good though. That was really good. I was like, wow. I was like, is he gonna beat Hook? Also, he does look like Frank Ocean. Just saying.
Evil Frank Ocean. Yeah.
Evil Frank Ocean.
Yeah, that's what he looks like. Frank.
I like the story that he told too. I think he did an interview where he talked about that the whole changing his hair color was the idea of Tony, and he had to agree with it to do the heel turn. He was like, I need you to change your hair color, but it's gonna come with a heel turn. It's gonna come with more TV time, and he was down for it. He was like,
hey, listen,
I learned a long time ago. You just go for it.
Hey, whatever it takes to get on TV, man. Change my hair. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Hey, yep.
In an interview with The Ringer, Tony Storm once again said that Thunder Rosa should be stripped of the AEW Women's World Championship if she's not back soon. Storm currently holds the interim belt and has since All Out back in September. On being an interim champion, she said, and I quote, "There's so much added pressure because I defend the title like a real true fighting champion. But if I lose the interim championship, then that basically means I never was champion. Really? And it was all for nothing. Essentially doesn't go down in the record books as the actual champion. So there's just so much more pressure involved with that, because it's not just like losing a championship. You lose and then it's all for nothing, basically. So I have to get through all these defenses before I even become the undisputed champion. And there's just so much pressure with that. What do I do if I lose? The embarrassment, the humiliation. If I was to lose the interim championship, it just feels like so much work. Personally, I think Thunder Rosa should just come to work and defend her championship like she's supposed to, like a champion should. But if the injury lingers too long, I believe she should probably be stripped, and then I should be the AEW Undisputed Women's World Champion like I was supposed to be at All Out. That's verbatim. I think she should defend her title. I think all champions should defend that championship. That doesn't just go for Thunder Rosa. That goes for everybody. During the Full Gear media call, Tony Khan did note that he was trying to give Thunder Rosa as much time as possible to get healthy, but at some point they would consider crowning a lineal champion. So, I mean, you got to feel for Thunder Rosa, who is trying to recover from a serious back injury. At last update, she did say that she was aiming to be back in January. I know, like me, you were pretty close and have talked in the past, are friends with Thunder Rosa, Cass.
Yep.
What are your whole thoughts on this whole situation? Where really, I'm gonna put it out there, plain as day. Toni Storm is a part of this locker room divide. Although they were a tag team as Thunderstorm on television, Toni Storm, and although they are feuding and they have a match tonight at Full Gear, Toni Storm is friends with Jamie Hayter. Mm-hmm. Jamie Hayter is friends with who? Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And the locker room seems to be split of Team Rosa and Team Baker, and Storm, interview after interview, makes it clear she's Team Baker. But what do you think, Cass?
I think the longer she stays away, the more there's going to be that divide too, you know, like, and what she just said, I think she said recently she just started running for the first time. So, I mean, that's, I guess, a good sign. I mean, I hope she's back as soon as she can. I didn't realize the injury was as bad as it was, I guess, until, you know, she went away, because it didn't look like she was hurt that bad. So I don't know, man. It's interesting. There's a lot of stuff backstage too. There's a lot of stuff happening here, and I don't really know what. I haven't talked to her since all this has happened. I'll see her at WrestleCade though, so maybe I'll know something next week. I'll see what I can dig up on that. Get an interview, probably. I'll try, but yeah, I don't know. There's a lot there, but I think the longer she stays away, though, like you said, there's that divide where it's you're on one side or the other, and if she's not around, then it's hard to, you know, you rally your troops around you if you're not there, right? So
yeah,
true. She's kind of like stuck right now where like you said, the divide is getting wider. Probably Britt's getting more people on her side in this one. Krssi, what do you think about this whole divide within the women's division, and what seems to, as the title says on screen, a storm brewing when it comes to Thunder Rosa and her potential return to the company?
It's so sad. I feel like she's like complaining a lot. I mean, yes, you're interim champion. I don't know why it would not be meaningful. I would still think that would be said that you were a champion, like you were the champion that took over while someone was away. And if she loses, like, I feel like she's doing a lot of complaining. But you've been on TV like every day since you've been here.
You've been a much better book champion than Thunder Rosa.
That too. So it's like, I feel like you're just doing a lot of complaining. I feel like you're saying this, for what? Like you left one company so that you could be this person, right or wrong. So I'm like, what if she was here, then what? Would you not like, would you be on like this every day, every week? Probably not.
Yeah.
So
it seems like kind of almost like it's calculated that they are putting more emphasis on the women when Thunder Rosa is away. It seems like it's almost done on purpose that he's booking, like, because we know, because whether anybody wants to mention it or not, we know in this split of the sides,
it was not like that when she was.
No, where everyone would think Tony Khan is on this side, and I think everyone would say he's on Team Baker. It is what it is.
Okay, I see what you're saying, friend. Okay.
But I think he wants to, like, you know, he likes Thunder Rosa, obviously. He's a big on her. So that's why he's trying to give
he did the whole thing to get her the buyout.
Right, he bought out her contract. Yeah, he bought out her contract. So, I mean, he's big on that. But, yeah, like, I think he's giving her as much time as she can. Like, that's all he can do. But at some point, like he said, you got to decide. You got to make a decision because it's been a way long time now. So
yeah, it's definitely been way longer than a lot of us thought it would eventually be, but here we are. We just gotta live with it, I guess. Mercedes Martinez made her return on Rampage, like we mentioned before. She's been out of action since the summer, but she has been medically cleared to return per Tony Khan. He revealed that during the AEW Full Gear media call, and she made her return during the AEW Dark taping during Wednesday's Dynamite before that show. Speaking of the recent Full Gear media call, Tony Khan also offered some thoughts and comments on his views of FTR using the team in AEW events. Khan expressed the desire to see particular matches on AEW and lamented the impossibility of implementing certain matches he would have liked to see there. On his appreciation of FTR, he says, I got asked earlier in the call about FTR. FTR wrestled on pay-per-view a few times this year as the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions and at Forbidden Door. They actually won the IWGP Tag Team Championships and became a Triple Crown champions, where they hold 3 world titles in the world of pro wrestling, in which I have a pretty big influence, frankly. I've had a lot of opportunities to showcase FTR, and now being able to have another platform to showcase one of the best teams in the world to an audience that clearly really appreciates them. To the point I made earlier in the call, Ring of Honor allowed me to feature a damn pay-per-view main event that was one of the best pay-per-view main events of the entire year, in FTR versus Briscoes, 2 out of 3 falls, in a match that I literally could not do in AEW. Believe me, I tried. And the final note from the call was the change in the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament finals being postponed from Full Gear, and it will now be on Wednesday's Dynamite. Ricky Starks will face Brian Cage on tonight's Full Gear 0 hour pre-show. But Cass, I know you're close with FTR. What do you think about Tony Khan's comments on them and how he's used them on Ring of Honor throughout this year?
It was a very Tony Khan comment, wasn't it?
Yes.
Like, let's not answer the question, but let's just talk about how great they are when you really don't
have an answer.
Yep.
No, you really don't have an answer. So
you really don't have an answer. And, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know why we don't see more of them. Like, we see some, but it's not enough, man. They're the best tag team you got. Like, I mean, whatever. And why aren't they in the tag league in New Japan? Is this the first time the IWGP Tag Champions have not been in the World Tag League also? What's up with that?
So.
Do you think Tony had something to do with that? Like, oh, I can't have him be gone to Japan for that long, too? I mean, there's a lot of stuff I'm wondering about that.
Well, to be fair with that, that's going on for a month, and they would have had to miss Ring of Honor Final Battle, and they are the top draw when it comes to Ring of Honor right now. So, yeah, I understood why they weren't in World Tag League, because it would conflict with them being at Ring of Honor. So,
but I don't know, man. He puts them over all the time, but then you don't really see don't see the actions meet the words, and I feel like. But hey, I love the guys. They'll be at WrestleCade too. Or I know Dax will. He's got a match against Speedball Mike Bailey on Saturday night next week, so that'll be fun. But I don't know, man. I guess like they're Ring of Honor champions, so building around that. But we only get one Ring of Honor show. It's whatever, man. Like, he puts belts on them to be like, oh, they're great. Look, they got all these title belts, but then you don't really use them. So it's almost like, let's just put these belts on to appease people, to be like, no, look, they're the champions, but yet you don't really do anything with them to showcase them as champions that often.
Yeah, it feels like false, kind of empty kind of promises and praise that he gives them from time to time, unfortunately. But let's move on from AEW now, and let's talk about WWE. Besides Rampage last night, you had WWE Smackdown, and they had a quite eventful show, Miss Krssi Luv. You had Butch getting the win to advance in the World Cup tournament over Sami Zayn after a distraction from Jey Uso. You had a big brawl between the Brawling Brutes and the Bloodline until Roman Reigns came down to give the Bloodline the advantage. However, Kevin Owens made his return to align with Team Brawling Brutes, the Brawling Brutes, and Drew McIntyre, and revealed himself as the 5th member of their team for Wargames at Survivor Series next Saturday. Got this great stare down between him and the Honorary Uce. And then finally, Kevin Owens laid out the undisputed WWE Universal Champion with a stunner for the Team Brutes to stand tall to close the show. You also had Ricochet beat Mustafa Ali in a very good opener to advance in the World Cup tournament. He then had a confrontation later on in the night with his opponent for next week in the semifinals, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman had an eventful night himself, as I don't know what WWE was thinking, but they had Gunther just act like he was a scared bitch to Braun Strowman during the 6-man tag as Braun Strowman and the New Day defeated Imperium. You also had Shotzi. She got the win over Shayna Baszler in one-on-one competition. Thanks to a distraction from Raquel Rodriguez, Ronda Rousey was getting involved throughout. You had Karrion Kross get the win over Madcap Moss. Emma came out to continue their little romance going on. And then probably the highlight of the show, you had Bray Wyatt come out and attempt to apologize to LA Knight, who responded by slapping the man not once, but twice, a 2-for-1 special, as he called it, before Bray basically haunted LA Knight throughout the night. We saw this great shot of Bray's eyes looking like the devil himself. And then we saw an interview as LA Knight tried to escape the building, and we saw the black mask behind him. And then when we came back from commercial backstage, LA Knight had been killed by Bray Wyatt.
I like that he's underneath the stuff that you run the cables through.
Yes.
Like,
it was great stuff. I thought this was one of the better episodes of SmackDown they've done in a while. Miss Krssi Luv, what was your highlight for the show?
Definitely the interaction between LA Knight and Bray. That was a great thing. And then the stare down between first of all, I didn't know when they were talking about who would be their 5th member. I forgot all about poor Kevin Owens. I'm so sorry. I'm like,
because he was supposed to be hurt. Remember, then there was a story that he was hurt, and he was.
So I'm like, who is going to be their 5th member? Like, who can they get? Like, who would be on this team? Still questioning Kevin Owens on their team as the aspect of it all. But I'm loving the whole like stare down. Like, I guess this is them foreshadowing and telling the story of like what's going to happen between Sammy and KO too. So
yeah, I like it. I mean, we saw the reports that they had delayed kind of the story of Kevin Owens getting involved in this bloodline story, but it felt like at the right time. This felt like a go home show. I was very excited for Survivor Series War Games coming out of this show. So I like what they did here. Hopefully they can stick the landing, unlike what I thought what the AEW did for the Full Gear buildup. So hopefully they can get it done. But Bray Wyatt and LA Knight, I did not know I needed it in my life, but these guys hit it out the park again this week. So I very much, that was probably my highlight for the show outside of KO's return, which I enjoyed as well.
Right. Yeah. But I was shocked that was the program that he got to begin with. I was like, okay, well, this might be all right because like LA Knight's fantastic anyway. But yeah, I'm interested now. I didn't think I was going to be, but my favorite part of the whole show was when Sami Zayn, of course, made Jey Uso laugh again, like every week. He can't help it. You see him in the background.
When he comes in and he's like
does the slow. By the way, yeah, and you see him in the background. It's like, God damn it! You see him just have to look away and get his composure back, and then come back like, oh, mad face again. So I love it. It was
great. It was always great when Sammy makes Jay break. See, I'm saying Bray did the "I'm gonna beat this man's arse" face. Yeah, he did. Those eyes were scary.
That was like a receipt. You gotta pay that. You got that's one of the what they call it. Gotta pay rent or something like that. They saying
get that receipt, man. Get that receipt.
I think that was a receipt that was like, all right, receipt. I got you, friend.
Oh, we also got Nick Jackson said, did you also peep Bray talking to himself in the background of the Usos confronting Cross? I did see Bray talking, but I don't think it was him to himself. I think he was talking to Uncle Howdy. I think Uncle Howdy was the one that attacked LA Knight, not Bray.
Oh, got it. Okay. All right, sure.
Thinking freaking 3D chess, y'all. 3D chess.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, LA Knight, he is so happy Triple H is here. He went from managing the models to the one of the top programs with the top babyface on SmackDown.
Yeah.
He's winning, y'all.
On much better usage of him, by the way, to be actually involved in something where he can wrestle instead of just being a manager for a program that nobody really gives a shit about.
Exactly. But the biggest news of the week when it comes to WWE, Krssi, was on Monday. A new report said that WWE offered Stone Cold Steve Austin another match Following his return back at WrestleMania 38 in April, Fightful Select reports that the company made an offer to the WWE Hall of Famer for another match at some point since Triple H took over creative. It is not clear what event the offer was for, though they presumably would be for WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles in April. Austin posted a video of himself working out, which led to some speculation from fans that he could be doing another bout. And WWE wants him to do more with them. Vince McMahon had wanted Austin to come back for another match following his in-ring return against Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 38. Another source told the site that Austin and WWE were initially far apart on terms for the possible match. There's no word as of yet as to whether the offer will end up bearing fruit. On Friday, though, the Wrestling Observer newsletter confirmed that WWE did contact Austin about another match at WrestleMania 39. Things are said to be in the discussion phase, but any ideas are being kept secret. Outside of a heel like Corbin or Theory brawling with Austin, similar to Owens last year, the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that the dream matches are also possible. The only one that wouldn't right now would be, of course, Austin versus CM Punk, as CM Punk is still under contract to All Elite Wrestling. That match was teased a decade ago, however. Other possible marquee matches listed would be Brock Lesnar or John Cena. Logan Paul is also a possibility. Roman Reigns wouldn't be a possibility, as he's expected to be tied up with The Rock, which has been the rumored plan for him for months. So, Krssi Luv, what do you think about this report? Stone Cold Steve Austin possibly coming back for WrestleMania 39. And if you can have one superstar face Austin at WrestleMania 39, who would it be?
Ooh, great that he's going to be there. Cool. So it's such a hard question. Who can take the L from Stone Cold and make him be meaningful? Who did he face last year?
Kevin Owens.
Make it be Austin Theory. Let Austin get a good whoop ass. He'll sell the shit out of a stunner, I feel like.
He already did. He sold the stunner at WrestleMania 38. Remember, he got involved with the whole Vince and Pat McAfee stuff.
Oh, right. I forgot. Oh, shit. Okay, wait. All right.
I'll let you think about it
Cass.
What do you think about this whole Austin report? Do you think it's a good idea for him to come in for another match at WrestleMania 39 after his performance this year? Yeah. And who would it be against for you?
I think he looked great last year, so I don't see why not. And apparently he really enjoyed it and wants to do more, is what I think I read. So, like, why not, right? Like, that's just money left on the table if you don't do it. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, you can really put him with anybody. I don't think it matters. It's fucking Stone Cold. He'll sell it somehow, some way. He'll find a way to make you care. Sure. I don't know. I mean, John Cena kind of works. I mean, you can plug him into anything and he can take the loss.
John?
You know what I mean? He could take the loss.
I was going to say Baron Corbin could get his ass kicked, since he's being like Brandon.
Baron Corbin seems like a waste. Like, I wouldn't even bring Austin back to face Baron Corbin.
I like Baron Corbin, but I don't want to see Baron Corbin lose all the time either. You know what I mean? Especially if you're trying to solidify him as being somebody that you want to be taken seriously and have like a contender forever. You don't want to just have him lose to, just want to have him in novelty matches and losing all the time. I don't think, but John Cena can do that. That's kind of why I think he would work, because like he's not a full timer. He's only pops in just to pop a rating and to be a big match. So like that would be a huge match.
Let Karen Kruss lose then. That'll be fine. I'll take that one.
I could take that one, but
Karen Kruss, I don't want to see that either. Like,
I don't really want to see that match, but I mean, he could lose. That's fine.
I'm just trying to think who would be the one that can take this L with no issues, and it wouldn't really affect them. Like,
I don't think necessarily, Austin should just be coming back year after year to just win matches.
New Undertaker, bro. He's the new Undertaker.
like I get he's the new Undertaker in a way. He's the new attraction for WrestleMania, but I would want them to transfer some of all, the star power and the overness that Austin has onto someone on the main roster. If you're just gonna have someone, face him and lose, then yeah, of course, yeah, Barry Corbin, JBL, just have them go out there, do a promo with him, get stunned, get out of there. That's it. But if we're going to actually do a match and a program this time, because they didn't really do a program with Kevin Owens, it was just Owens cutting promo after promo every week. If we're going to have Austin on TV and build to it, there's only one person that I thought of that I was just like, he could do the walk-in brawl type of style that Kevin Owens did with Austin last year. He's over enough that he seems like a threat to Austin, and it's Bray Wyatt. That's it. Bray Wyatt is the one guy who's a top star in WWE that doesn't have a match that just comes to you like that for WrestleMania. When you think Roman Reigns, you think The Rock. If you don't have The Rock available, you got Cody Rhodes. You got like 7 different options for Roman Reigns. If Cody's not versing Roman, he's gonna verse Seth. Or if Seth's not versing this person, Seth can be in that match. All these other guys, you have the natural person for them to go against. Bray Wyatt doesn't have that. Bray Wyatt is the guy that needs the match against Austin the most. So that's why I would put him in.
Okay. And I would
have him win. No, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Stone Cold could lose that match because it doesn't mean really much. Okay, I can get behind this SP. I can see it. Yes. I can see it.
Yes. Yeah, that works. Austin versus Rollins doesn't work anymore because Rollins is a babyface.
Right.
It doesn't make really sense like that. Yeah, it doesn't make sense like that. So that's a good one. That I'm of the camp that I want to see John Cena versus Logan Paul. After Logan Paul's performance against Roman Reigns, I'm all for Logan Paul versus John Cena. But if Logan Paul's not healthy, then Austin Theory versus John Cena definitely sounds like a good look. Sean, that's a good shout. LA Knight versus Austin.
That's a good one too. Yes, I like that idea. LA Knight
is a good idea. The promo
battle
would be great.
Exactly. Yes. Be like Austin looking into a mirror, basically.
It would be.
Yeah, that's actually a good shout. I like that one as well. Let's talk about the guy that Austin faced at WrestleMania 38 this past year. As you said earlier, it was a very up and down week when it comes to Kevin Owens. On Monday, Figure 4 Online reported that Kevin Owens suffered an injury during Sunday night WWE live event in Madison, Wisconsin against Austin Theory. Owens suffered an MCL sprain, and officials were hoping it's nothing more than that. Owens appeared to injure his right knee when planting it during the match. When he won with the stunner, but had to rely on the referee to get help backstage. On Monday's Wrestling Observer Radio, it was noted that Owens is currently rehabbing the injury at the WWE Performance Center ahead of Survivor Series. Dave Meltzer noted that his status for the pay-per-view was in doubt on Monday after the injury, as he was not moving well at the moment. But as seen on SmackDown, Owens was confirmed as the 5th member, joining Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Butch, and Ridge Holland versus the Bloodlines, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa, and the Usos in the men's Wargames match at Survivor Series next Saturday. Very exciting angle that they did there. And I like
nice looking picture promo background thing. That's really nice. That's good.
Very dope graphic. It gets me excited for Wargames.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Yep.
And then the final SmackDown news note: Fightful Select has an update on the whereabouts of none other than former WWE chairman and CEO Vince McMahon. Sources within WWE said that they don't hear much from McMahon, but he's reportedly been out and about more than he was when he was in charge of the company. He actually got free time to get some buns now.
I keep saying with some lady.
Hire them. You don't have to hire nobody. Vince living a good life. You don't got to hire nobody to get no buns. Big up to Vince McMahon. Our hero, Vince McMahon, out there getting buns without paying for it. Well, he going to nice restaurants, so he is paying for it. But he's not paying for it in the same way. Not in the millions.
He's paying for it some kind of way, though.
You can slash up some zeros on what he's paying, though.
He paying something. It ain't for free.
It never is.
Never.
Never is.
Cassidy on the same page. We know it's
I see that. WWE Raw this week, they did 1.648 million viewers. The show was really featured and focused on an effort to rebuild and rehab Austin Theory after the worst Money in the Bank cash-in of all time. And Krssi Luv, someone in WWE watches Tru Heel Heat because they literally were calling it that on the show.
What?
They called it the worst Money in the Bank cash-in of all time. He first cut a promo explaining why he cashed in last week, noting that the bloodline always protecting Roman Reigns. Before Dolph Ziggler interrupted, this led to a very good bout between the two men, where Ziggler won by disqualification after Theory assaulted him on the floor, telling him that he's not a kid after Ziggler called him a kid earlier in the night. Finally, Theory attacked Seth Rollins after Rollins beat Finn Balor in a very good main event to retain the United States Championship. The night ended with Theory holding up the gold, and it seems like Theory's going to be the guy who dethrones Seth Rollins. It just depends on when. We'll see. But they did a good job rehabbing him. That promo was awful, but everything they did after the promo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You explained to us of why you didn't want to cash in on Roman Reigns right now. But my dude, you had 8 months, not 8 days. Like, you didn't need to cash in on Seth Rollins.
You could have You could have just you could have just still like just been a jerk antagonizing people with the briefcase. You don't have you can do it for a year. It doesn't have to just be within this time frame, which is what I can't stand right now with what they do. Is like no one has a meaningful like Money in the Bank run. Like it doesn't, like I feel like they just should take it off now. Like it shouldn't be a whole show. Like just remove it. Like
damn,
it doesn't make sense anymore because it doesn't, like the runs, like the girls like cashing on the first day, and then the guys, when they do it, it doesn't really like it doesn't feel a good way anymore. It's not impactful. That's what I mean. It doesn't give us anything. At least for me. I don't know about anybody else.
No, this felt like a hard reset for him. Like they were just like, all right, so this was the direction he was going before we got rid of Vince, and now it's like we got to do something else. That's what it seemed like this week, or like this whole cash in, change up, and where we're at now. It's just like, let's just fix that, like a course correction of where they didn't like that was going, but the way they did it didn't make any fucking sense. But whatever, we get where we're going now, I guess. So.
Yeah, I'm all for everything they did on this show, and I think they made a bunch of good changes for Theory, getting rid of the selfie cam, which was really a second match on the card gimmick, and making him more serious. He felt like a future heel main eventer for the first time in a while on this show. So
added the facial hair, so now you know he's a bad guy.
Yes, he's grown
exactly.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, you didn't need that awful booking from last week to get here. You could have done this. You could have done this with him failing to cash in or attaching successfully on Roman Reigns, and he could have done the same thing, and then gone after the U.S. title, and then say, "I'm gonna beat the greatest champion of the past decade. I couldn't beat Roman. Roman beat me and cost me my briefcase. Now I'm gonna beat Seth for the U.S. title." Then it feels like he's going upwards. It didn't feel like you nosedived him just to pick him back up, like this show felt.
The whole thing felt to me like, did we rip up 3 scripts again before the show on Monday to get to this point? Are we doing that again? Is that where we're at? Because that's what it
sounds like.
Pretty much. Bobby Lashley also beat Mustafa Ali on the show. You had Mia Yim pick up a victory in her first match back, beating Tamina. Post-match, Rhea Ripley played some mind games. Then Damage Control tried to recruit Yim to their team for War Games. However, she joined Team Belair. So Rhea Ripley joined Team Damage Control for War Games, as there is only one spot remaining on Team Belair heading into next Saturday's show. And speaking of next Saturday's show,
look at Nikki Cross.
Yes. Just climbing shit. Just climbing shit in the background.
Like a toddler, like she's Spider-Man. Like, what is happening back there? Like, is she looking for something? Did she lose something? I was like, what is she doing? But it's great character. Like, you can't. This is the old Nikki Cross. So yes.
Tyler's always doing that shit. And then also at Survivor Series, AJ Styles will challenge Finn Balor to go one-on-one at the show. So some big matches made for Survivor
Series. This is all of us a Raw show instead of there's no one from SmackDown.
There barely is a match for SmackDown. The men's War Games is a SmackDown match and the SmackDown Women's Championship. But yeah, everything else on the show.
Oh yes, the men's War Games is a SmackDown. Yes, you're right. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's only 2 matches on the show that is about it.
SmackDown.
But Krssi Luv, what did you think about everything going down to set up this women's War Games and how they've been doing putting this women's division together after like I said a couple of weeks ago, they pretty much ruined Damage Control a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay, so I knew they were gonna throw Mia Yim in there some kind of way. And then I was like, okay, yeah, let's just throw Rhea in there because we got to get another girl. So we got to get another bad girl in there. So it's like, I like it. I just don't like how they put it together. Because it just feels like all these scripts are, have been torn into pieces. And now we're just going to go, let me just, bingo. Rhea, you're up. We're going to throw you in now because we need someone else to just level it all out. So it just feels very like thrown together, not really a care about. We need a War Games. And then most of the girls that are in this match have been in a War Games match before.
Yeah. So that's what I do. I do like with that. I would have liked. I would have liked Rhea. I would have liked Rhea to tell like Damage Control that's why she should be on the team. Is she
right? Because I know all about it. Right. Like it just said, okay, we need another girl. Let's just throw like they just like it's not like they went and like recruited her. Like they didn't even ask. Like you see how they went to like Mia and was like, hey girl, what's up? Like you should be with us. Like they didn't even do that. Like Rhea was just like, okay, like how Rhea was like, I got my own group to worry about. Like, how I wanted to be with y'all?
It felt very arbitrary.
Yeah.
In the way they did it, where they could have gone with the other way of Damage Control, going to Rhea and saying, Mia's on the other team. Unless you want everybody to think you're scared of Mia, you should join our team. I think they would have done it the other way. It would have put some power back into Damage Control because they feel like they just waving in the wind and they're just going along with everything now.
Well, yeah, and it's like you said, they could have been like, girl, you know more. Dakota could have been like, yo, you, me, and EO, we know about this stuff. We've done this. So we need you would be a benefit to be on our team. Like we got like make it feel like it makes sense. Like these girls have been in the War Games and they know what it takes to do to win. So hey girl, Rhea, we need you to come be with us. Like you ain't got to be like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like be the heels. Like we need you to help take these girls down.
Can't do it.
But no, you got to just throw the poor girl in there like she ain't got to worry about Dominic.
And then she don't got to worry in the world. Coming out of Monday Night Raw, there was some news with WWE throughout this week concerning people that would be coming in, as well as big events coming up. A new report has details on the possible city to host SummerSlam next year. Fightful Select reports that Detroit, Michigan is currently a front runner for hosting the summer pay-per-view, with sources in WWE noting that the city was being looked at as a possible host for the show in recent months. The report makes it clear that as of now, there is no indication that this is finalized. WWE has held SummerSlam in Detroit all the way back in 1993 when it was held at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Potential venues for SummerSlam in Detroit include Ford Field, which was the home of WrestleMania 23, Comego Park, and Little Caesars Arena. WWE has been making sure SummerSlam is a stadium show as of late, so the 2 baseball stadiums is the most likely of them. What do you think about SummerSlam coming to Detroit, Cass? Will you be there?
I don't know. Probably not. Detroit's far from me.
Probably not.
Dude, they don't even put me on the media row thing when I apply. So it's like, I'm not going all that way just to watch a show. I can watch it from my house. But if I was participating and doing something, it'd be different. But WWE doesn't like me very well. So, yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, fuck them.
Blacklisted. Being blacklisted is a thing. It's whatever.
Yeah,
They don't like it when you write about the Saudi Arabian hostage situation from 3 years ago that didn't happen.
Because it's all true.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. So yeah, they didn't like any of that. But whatever. What can you do? But no, I mean, Detroit's awesome. I would love to go to Detroit. I like the possibility of it being there, and I mean, Ford Field's a great place to have it. I mean, even if it's hot, it's closed. So,
yes, give Cass a chance though. WWE, give him media for.
Hey, we got a new regime now. Maybe now that I can get in now. Maybe that was under the old banner that I was blacklisted, but we'll see.
In the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, it was again reported that WWE is interested in bringing back the former Bronson Reed, who currently competes as Jonah. According to the report, Jonah has been offered a contract by WWE and will need to decide if he wants to go back or stick with NJPW. He was released in August 2021 under the Vince McMahon regime, and after being pushed heavily in NXT since leaving, he's been pushed in NJPW, even defeating top star Kazuchika Okada in the G1 Climax 32 tournament. According to Fightful Select, WWE sources indicated that overtures have been made towards Jonah. However, the sources would not commit to him returning to WWE or not. One WWE source reportedly said that Jonah was a name that was being discussed who improved their stock while away from WWE and is said to have multiple options to weigh. When asked for comment by Fightful regarding being contacted by WWE, Jonah did not confirm or deny the news. Additionally, another WWE source stated that Jonah was another talent Triple H wasn't interested in bringing back to the company. By comparison, Vince didn't see it, quote unquote, with the former NXT North American champion. This is one I've been very adamant about Krssi Luv pretty much since the talk started saying that they had interest in bringing back Jonah. I think the best thing for Jonah's career is stick with NJPW because he's
gonna get lost in the shuffle.
And yeah, he's gonna get lost in the shuffle with how many people they brought back as of late. And two, he just seems like a whole different type of performer in New Japan than he ever was in WWE.
They're gonna keep sticking him with like Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley. They're gonna stick him with Omos. They're gonna stick him with all these other big guys. Like, maybe I would like to see him go against Kevin Owens, maybe. But other than that, I don't think it really would be like anything meaningful for him to come back.
I think he's valued more in the New Japan,
right,
too, because they love a big hulking like American big guy.
Yes,
or not even American, but just non-Japanese big guy, and he fits that role. You know what I mean? Like you said, they already had him beat like Okada, so like in the G1, right? So like, dude, is he going to beat somebody Okada level in WWE if he goes back? You know what I mean? Like that's their Cena, that's their like main guy. You know, like he's not gonna go to WWE and be pushed into any situations where he beats somebody with that type of.
He's not beating Roman when he gets back to WWE.
He's not.
Definitely not. That's just the fact of the matter.
Exactly.
He's not beating Roman Reigns, so he will not get the equivalent of the same push that he has gotten in New Japan that he will in WWE.
Don't make him look like a monster. I mean, they're going to make him look like a beast, like a force. But yet you're going to go to WWE, and there's no telling what they're going to have him do.
Yeah, I mean, if it's about the money, go for the money. I'm always saying, like I am not the one to dictate what these people want. So if you want to get the money, I'm all for you getting the money. But
the bag,
at the end of the day, I'm just saying,
is it worth it?
Yeah, is it worth that much?
New Japan can offer decent money though, so it's not like he's like comparing like an Impact contract to a WWE contract. New Japan is going to pay you more than that, or an MLW contract or something. Like here's $1,000 a month, or whatever they fucking do.
They're the worst with that. Don't get me started on them dudes. On them dudes right there. Oh man. But final WWE note coming out of Raw was during Thursday's Wrestling Observer Radio. Another talent that is expected to be back was talked about. It was reported that Chelsea Green is expected back in WWE any day now. It was noted that it's been talked about in WWE as a done deal, although at this time it's unknown if she's put pen to paper yet. There was also reports of WWE possibly offering Green and her husband Matt Cardona a 2-for-1 deal to bring both of them into the company. What would you guys think about Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green coming into WWE, and Matt Cardona being Matt Cardona, not
okay.
Zack Ryder?
Okay, that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, that would make all the difference.
Right.
Who's he going to come in as? Does he come in as himself or Zach?
He has to be him. He has to be Matt. He cannot be the other thing because it doesn't make sense.
You didn't even say the other person. You said the other thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, he can't be that. He cannot be. It can't happen. They have to be the same characters that they are right now. If they can be that, then it can work. If they can't be this, if it's going to be watered down, don't do it, guys, friends. I mean, but then they probably giving him a lot of money.
It makes more sense for him to go than it would for Jonah, in my opinion. So, like,
right.
That's the one where I'm like, dude, they should go back. As long as, like you said, if he's Zack Ryder, I think he's doomed again. Just because.
But also, they have to be like, you have to let them like get some type of like creativity. Like, you got to let them like keep like make where that is still like the same shit that they're doing right now. They have to be like, they can't be something else, because if they're not the characters that they are, I don't see them succeeding really far. They're going to get lost in the shuffle. They have to be these heels that are just freaking annoying, and they're going to have to, like, I don't know, like, bring the Miz and Maurice back and, like, have them be faces and, like, have, like, them, like, you know, tear them apart. I don't know. But, you know, things like that. Like, you know, that's when the Miz and Maurice get called up anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different couples that they can like feud with, like right off the rip when they come in. So I like the if this would be the move for them, I think it would be a great move, and they have a tailor-made act for the main roster right now. So that's why I like it.
Now, which move now? Right.
Also true, yeah, because both of them have dealt with their health issues this year and over the last couple of years as well. So yeah.
Now, what brand would we put them on? Right.
Raw. I mean, I try my best to put anybody on SmackDown, but Raw just makes more sense.
Raw would be the better option. Yes, they need them on SmackDown, but Raw Raw would be the better option.
If it was just Chelsea, I would say definitely SmackDown. If it's Chelsea and Matt, then yeah, Raw. Because they have more options of people to feud with over on Raw than on SmackDown, because SmackDown, as we've established, has nobody. They don't put people on SmackDown. That's why they only got 2 matches going into next Saturday's pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen.
Very true.
But
is there a Survivor Series match at all, like a classic?
No, they just have the Wargames.
They haven't had any classic Survivor Series matches in like.
No, they do. They usually do. They do the Raw versus SmackDown.
They usually do one of those, right?
They do a men's and a women's Raw versus SmackDown elimination matchup.
Maybe we get that on the pre-show out of nowhere. Just piece it together.
Maybe on the pre-show.
I thought they were going to use Judgment Day for the Survivor Series match, and then they just made Balor versus Styles. So
they did. That would have been a Survivor Series match day, and then they could have had the girls in it too. But I guess because they put the girls over for the Wargames match, now is just
it's all messed up, y'all.
It's meaningless now, y'all. Yeah, they just take the girls out of this faction. We're gonna put them with these other girls in this thing because we need girls over here.
Need them.
Thanks, guys.
We need them this way. We gotta talk about NXT. They did 663,000 viewers this week. The show featured Mandy Rose defeating Alba Fire, thanks to the debuting Ilya Dawn from NXT UK to win the last woman standing match to retain the NXT Women's Championship. You also had
Abaddon, but more prettier version though.
Broad Breaker beat Von Wagner to retain the NXT Championship. Apollo Crews defeated JD McDonough in a very good contest to seemingly become the #1 contender for the NXT Championship. And Shawn Michaels
He'll probably lose. Damn. Poor Apollo.
Shawn Michaels announced the Iron Survivor match for NXT Deadline, where there will be a men and women version.
Look at that picture you guys used. That's amazing.
Okay, first of all, when did he get cockeyed? Like, I'm confused. Like,
he's been cockeyed for a while. He's been cockeyed for quite some time.
Okay, It has to be after he retired because I'm like, when did this happen?
Nah, it's been
it's been a slow progression over the last 20 years to this point, but yeah.
Yep.
What?
Pretty much.
No.
So there's going to be a men's and women's version of the Iron Survivor match. 5 competitors in each, where you can earn.
Grandpa.
Where you can earn.
So fine. Like, damn.
Great.
Where you can earn points by
even
pinfall.
Old, though. That's the problem. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, SB. Y'all got this picture up, and I'm just staring at it. I want to cry.
I'm just looking into it and just being like, man,
I'm just like,
I feel like he's about to talk to me about the weather.
Where you can earn points by pinfall, submission, or disqualification, and the competitor with the most points at the end of 25 minutes will be the winner. Jeez, it took me much longer than I thought to get through.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That picture just stared at me for the whole time. I was like,
right, like you just left the picture there. Like, what were we supposed to do? Just like,
it was mesmerizing. I had to make.
And I love Abaddon. I think Abaddon is pretty, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving a reference as like she's like a copied version, just that it's just she's just not like the more like scary version of her character. That's what I'm all saying. Frantic. I love Abaddon. I think I stand for Abaddon. I wish she was on, TV more instead of dark. But
She's
whatever.
hurt right now. She's injured right now. She got injured.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you're right.
She got injured at an independent show over last weekend. So hopefully she gets her health better so she can return to television. But what did you think about the pretty Abaddon, Alia Dawn, interfering, costing Alba Fire the NXT Women's Championship, and Mandy Rose continuing her reign, which a lot of people thought was going to end here? Krssi.
I'm here for it. I'm actually liking the whole, like, you got to make the whole point of bringing Mandy Rose over there was to have eyes on NXT. And then she got better.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got better. And then she got better. It was like the reverse Carmella effect almost. So I was like, it's great. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not yet like, do we want Alba Fire to be champion right now? Yes, but not really. Exactly, Cassidy. He's like, he did. I said no. But I mean, I would like to see a champion, just not yet. I feel like they still, I feel like they still need this heel champion. Like, she give her the whole Roman effect. You're going to across the board. You have to keep the same energy on 3 brands. It's
going to mean something when she's finally defeated at this
That's
point.
What I'm saying. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. So I'm hoping that they do have in mind who they want to eventually dethrone Mandy Rose, because I will say that the reign has gotten a little stale for me. So teach yourself. Coming out of NXT, they had a bunch of news notes. Fightful Select reports that the WWE is planning to feature more wrestling personalities for upcoming pre-shows for NXT premium live events. The next premium live event, of course, for NXT is Deadline, scheduled for December 10th in Orlando, Florida. So we're going to see Cassidy Haynes on the pre-show for Deadline.
I've been on some takeover pre-shows before, just in the background there when they used to do them they used to have the little panel and you could see the people in the background or whatever. I went to all the takeovers when they were at Full Sail. So, hey, there's a better chance of seeing me there than there is in Detroit. But
there you go.
That's we take any little thing.
We're getting it. A couple of names are reportedly set to make their NXT TV debut soon. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that AJ Arhemin and Isaac Oja Bassin are being readied to make their debuts on television soon. AJ came from Baylor University, where she was on the aerobics team as well as the tumbling team, and is set to use the name Danny Palmer, according to the report, while Bassian is currently using his real name, and that should change soon because no one's going to know how to pronounce that. No. He is a shot.
Was this the group of people that they introduced like from the Performance Center?
I think these are 2 of the people that was in that.
Because everyone that was in that group, all their names sucked. Sorry.
All their names, that was their real names, so they were all difficult to pronounce. Yeah. There wasn't their.
I was like,
so he was obviously one of the ones from the LA or from the Vegas tryout. Yeah. And wasn't that the one with like Kevin Durant and it was like bad? Like, so he was one of the only ones.
One with Dwight.
Yeah, Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard. Yeah. I knew he was a basketball player. I wasn't there. I didn't get to go to it because I'm not allowed to go to the media stuff for WWE, so I didn't get to see it. But Yeah, that was not a good tryout. I think I remember. So okay, maybe he stood out, I guess. So we'll see what he's got.
Stood out from the rest of the junk they had there, I guess.
Yeah.
Speaking of junk, let's talk about the junkiest, the most trash move of the week of what we miss. NWA Hard Times 3, as in the main event, the unthinkable happened. We talked about this show last week, Krssi Luv and Top Guy JJ and myself groaning at the card and groaning at this main event. And they did the most groan-inducing finish they could possibly do. Yes.
We all knew it was coming, though, unfortunately.
Tyrus defeated Trevor Murdoch and Matt Cardona in a three-way to win the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, the Funkasaurus. The fucking Funkasaurus on fucking Fox News is your NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
I knew that man looked familiar. I'm like, don't that man wrestle or do stuff? I'm like, why does he look so like I've seen him before, but not knowing that he's a Fox News alumni.
Somebody call him Mama.
I interviewed Tyrus before the last pay-per-view. It was an interview. He's cool, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't ask him about politics or anything, so
smartly.
He told some funny stories. But before this pay-per-view last weekend, NWA sent me some interviews because they're like, hey, we need to get rid of this Nick Aldis stuff that's going around. So they sent me Colby Carino, and that was a really good interview I did before that. But yeah, that pay-per-view was rough, wasn't it?
I mean, I didn't watch. I was about to watch it, and then I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to make the right move and
don't do it. You did the right thing.
And then when I saw this, I was like, I made the right move.
You didn't give them your money or nothing, or maybe I would have probably gotten a fake stream from somebody because I wouldn't have paid them a dime.
We got
sorry,
Camille.
But, sorry.
Camille beat Kylan King on the show, and Chelsea Green to retain the NWA Women's World Championship. Hawks Aries beat La Rebellion to win the NWA World Tag Team Championships. Kerry Morton defeated Homicide to win the NWA Junior Heavyweight title. Coming out of the show on Sunday, Tyrese released the following statement on Twitter about his title win. He said, the training, the focus, the sacrifice, training alone, living in the gym, not living in the fridge. Could have fooled me. Film study, being prepared on a daily basis, on a high level. Hashtag New York Times bestseller. Hashtag #1 late night show at Guildfield Fox. And now new at NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Hashtag Tyrus Smash.
Yeah.
You want us to say, okay, what do you want from us?
Hey, Kerry Morton won. Hey.
Kerry Morton won.
I love Kerry.
Yeah. Camille won, y'all. That's good. In a recent interview following up from the bigger news from NWA last week, it wasn't Hard Times. It was Nick Aldis in an interview with Wrestling Inc. He shared his perspective on various elements contributing to his choice to leave the NWA. He talked about NWA being toxic, and he said, and I quote, the disregard for the fans. I'm not trying to get into the political stuff. That's not interesting to me. Politics in this country is very, very split, very divided, and I'm a centralist. However, I feel like as a brand, you should do your best to be apolitical as well. And that's not even really the meat of the matter. It's more about the audience have been telling them one thing for a long time. And Billy specifically has been disregarding them and doing the complete opposite, almost out of spite. I like to think I'm as in touch with the NWA audience as anybody, really more so than anybody. And the amount of communications I've had from fans over the last year and a bit just pleading with me, please talk to him. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? What's happened to the show? Why is he doing this? At some point, it feels like he's sort of deliberately going against what the fans are asking for. And it just feels like a very spiteful approach. And I just don't think it's got anything to do with business. I think it's just to do with ego. Tell him how you really feel, Nick. Tell him. I mean, he spit facts there. There's a lot. This is stuff that
he's probably just saying, like, I'm not really lying. I'm just have to like give you like the full like information. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm just like confused on what Billy Corgan. Like I said this last week, Cass, and I'll say it to you here. Billy Corgan wrote the blueprint that Tony Khan succeeded with. The money mark who comes into this business and tries to make his foothold in it, and Billy Corgan has completely botched this on another company. It's done with NWA. I don't think there's any recovery. It's at that point of when he was in a lawsuit with Dixie Carter and Impact Wrestling. I feel like he's bombed another promotion, Cass.
Man, have you ever heard people talk about his booking? You know, have you heard wrestlers be like, his booking is just horrible? It is. His ideas aren't good.
He said it is.
I don't get it. I heard him pitch an idea one night to a wrestler when we were after some tapings, and I was just like, "Oh, this is fucking bad." And I didn't want to say anything, and it was funny, but the wrestler was like, "Yeah, we'll talk about this later. I don't want to be put on the spot because it was bad." But like, these are like his ideas. He was all about it. So I'm like, man, if this is the ideas that he's all about, like, this is not going to be good. And you see where we're at now. So it all checks out, really, I guess.
Yeah, it all makes a bunch of sense after hearing all of this. Final shows what we missed this week. GCW last weekend had their Nick Gage Invitational 7. John Wayne Murdoch was the winner, defeating his arch rival and former GCW World Tag Team Champion partner Alex Colon to win the NGI 7 tournament. Jordan Oliver beat Jimmy Lloyd, Alec Price, Blake Christian, and Nick Wayne in a scramble match. Then you had GCW Wisconsin Death Trip. Los Masitos beat Eric Dillinger and Dysfunction to retain the GCW World Tag Team titles. John Wayne Murdoch defeated Mance Warner to win a brutal Tepai death match, and Cole Radrick defeated Sakura in the main event. What did you think about the shows from GCW? I know you're a huge fan, Cass.
Yeah, I didn't watch them live. I watched them later because I just didn't have time last weekend. But dude, I love what they do. It's always fun and entertaining to me, and I love seeing my man Cole Radrick in the main event, Ratty Daddy in the main event, baby. So it was a good show. It was fun. I liked it. You know, the tournament's always gonna put some fucking crazy shit to you. So if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. It was pretty wild. The Nick Gage Invitational was always fun, but yeah, I mean, that was mostly a big deathmatch weekend. It was a little bit different than what we've been getting we get that once a year, basically. But yeah, it's good. I liked it, and they're doing some good stuff, like they always do. But yeah, we get Nick Gage this weekend at WrestleCade, man, against George fucking South for the GCW title.
There you go. Some big stuff
going man.
From GCW. They got a show this weekend.
It is. He's right.
We'll talk about the card in a bit. Impact on Access TV this week. They had Black Taurus beat PJ Black to advance in the X Division title tournament, and he got to the finals at Overdrive. Ace Austin and Chris Bay beat the Motor City Machine Guns, Aussie Open, and Raj Singh and Shira in a fun 4-way matchup. Sami Callihan defeated Eric Young in a violent death machine double Jeopardy match, and that led into last night's Impact Overdrive, their latest Impact Plus special. Josh Alexander defeated Frankie Kazarian in a tremendous main event to retain the Impact World Championship. And then Impact did one of their best angles of the year. Post-match, Billy Ray kept his word. He called his shot with the Call Your Shot trophy for Impact Hard to Kill on January 13, 2023. He will face Josh Alexander for the title. However, he then attacked Alexander with a steel chair, hitting him over and over again right in front of his wife. Then he threatened to power drive his wife on concrete. He was hung up from a zip tie, Josh Alexander. Alexander freed himself, and Bully Ray said, "You stay right there. I'm gonna drop her head on the concrete." Yo, it was one of the. I was like, literally had my jaw on the floor watching this. I was like, "Yo, Bully for all the stuff bad about him. He hits it out the park when he's a dastardly
So what you're saying
heel.
is that he actually delivered.
Yeah, he did.
He delivered. He was like, I'm gonna drop her on your head. He was like, you stay there. Grab your title. I'm gonna drop her on the head. It was like a hostage situation. He was like, grab the title. He's like, hand me the title. Hand me the title and I'll give back your wife. Hand me the title and I'll give back your wife. Handed him the wife. They got the title. And then the show ended with him choking him with a steel chair as Josh Alexander was holding his wife. One of the best angles Impact has done. This year.
And I didn't think I was going to give a shit about Bully Ray wrestling for the title, so I was like, oh, great. When that happened, I was like, here we fucking go, whatever. And then they did this. I'm like, oh, that's actually okay. All right, I like this. So, yeah, they got me into it. They sold me on it with that last night. So,
really,
I'm probably going to be in Atlanta for that one, too, now, actually, because that's 2 hours from my house. I'll go to that.
Nice. I hope Jensen is there too.
I'm sure he will be. We like to hang out at center stage. We have fun when we hang out. So
there you go. You also had Jordan Grace. She beat Masha Slamovich in a brutal last knockout standing match to retain the Impact Knockouts World Championship.
Ronda Rousey, you can learn something from this person that does makeup. It looks beautiful. Very sensational Sherry-esque. Not that dark shit that she be wearing. It looks just disgusting. I'm sorry. Continue.
Trey Miguel defeated Black Taurus in an awesome bout to win the Impact X Division title. You also had Heath and Rhino beat the major players to retain the Impact World Tag Team titles, and Bully Ray beat Moose in a tables match to open the show. But that
I'm all about anybody beating Moose.
Yes. I'm for that too. But that wraps up what we missed this week. So it's time for your favorite part, Miss Krssi Luv. Match of the week.
Also, I got something we didn't talk about. Did you see that Ring of Honor is now AEW Presents ROH?
No, I did not see that. What? That's what it's called now? That's smart, though. They had to figure out a way to put the AEW letters in the
in the ROH.
So, yeah, that was on I think Wrestling Observer newsletter yesterday, and I think
are we getting them their own show soon?
I don't know yet, but it looks like that it's going to be like how WWE NXT. It's going to be AEW
Presents
right.
Ring of Honor. Yeah, that's smart. I don't have a problem with that. I think that was the right move to do. Frantic World accident about Overdrive was the main event, 40 minutes. I think it was over 30. It was definitely over 30 minutes. Him and Frankie, they definitely tore it up. And Josh Alexander, if you're not watching Impact, you're missing out on one of the best wrestlers of 2022.
Yeah.
He's been killing it this year. But let's talk about match of the week, Miss Krssi Luv. We didn't have the 2 weeks that we did last week. We did top 5, so we're going back to the top 3, your gold, silver, bronze medal for the week. I will start things off this week, and I will give my bronze medal to Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor for the United States Championship. Very much enjoyed that one. Silver medal, I'll go with Death Triangle versus Top Flight and AR Fox. Just a hell of a performance from AR Fox in that one. My honorable mention, I'll say SmackDown, Mustafa Ali versus Ricochet. I really wanted to put it in this top 3, but I couldn't deny. I saw Impact Overdrive, and I enjoyed the hell out of the main event. So I'm going to give the gold medal this week to Josh Alexander versus Frankie Kazarian for the Impact World Championship. Josh Alexander's had a hell of a year, and it's another great matchup for him. Krssi Luv, what's your 3 for the week? Gold, silver, bronze medal.
So I kind of almost have your 2 of yours, but not everything. My bronze is going to go to Ricochet and Mustafa Ali. Silver is Seth and Finn, and my gold is Death Triangle and
Top Flight and AR Fox.
There you go. Thank you, friend. I was happy to see those guys. They did the shit out of that show, that match in that time frame, and they did so much. So I have to give it to them.
The only thing I would do differently is I would put that tag match from Dynamite, the Claudio and
yes, honorable mention to them. Honorable mention
match.
Daniel
setting up the world title match for Ring of Honor. That was killer, man.
That was great. Match. Yes, so much happening in that match. So much happening.
It did great. The match was great.
It told a good story.
It progressed the story. It told a good story. It progressed the storyline and the program. It was just checked all the boxes.
Checked all of the boxes. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely delivered there. A good spot for Brian and Claudia. Claudia looking like an absolute beast against Chris Jericho again. Yes. I love it. Let's start the rest of the news rundown from this week. Let us know your match of the week, if you will, in the live chat or in the comments down below. Gold, silver, bronze medal for your week. Let's talk about the news, run down the rest of the news. WWE news. The big news of the week is Sasha Banks. This week, PW Insider reported that Sasha Banks, Sonata Inc., applied for some trademarks on November 10th for the following terms: Mercedes Monet, Monet Talks, Bank Monet, Statement Maker. Banks previously created Sonata earlier this year based on her real name, Mercedes Renata. PW Insider notes that the filings were handled by attorney Michael Dawkins, who handles a number of trademark filings for professional wrestling talents. And then Comic-Con Revolution has announced that WWE superstar Sasha Banks will be a guest at this year's next year's Comic-Con Revolution event in May 21st, 2023 and May 20th, 2023 at the Ontario Convention Center. So very interesting, the trademarks, because this would be kind of the trademark she would put out there if she was leaving WWE and possibly continue wrestling
going somewhere else.
So do you think Sasha Banks may be done or may be thinking about being done with WWE, Miss Krssi Luv?
I think she's thinking of it and really weighing her options. She's definitely not even thinking. I think she's just looking in other things, because she's just like, do I want to deal with them, or do I want to do my own thing and make my own narrative and just do things other places? So I think that's what she's really thinking about right now. Well, no, not right now. She has been thinking about it ever since she has, the
time away.
Yes.
Yeah. And didn't the Comic-Con announce it as formerly known as Sasha Banks? And that's the first time anybody's put that on anything, because it was like also known as, or WWE's Sasha Banks before on all the other Comic-Con appearances.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting to be the first time that it's like, it's formerly, it's not also or known as or whatever. But so that, I don't know, we'll see. It doesn't look like, I figured she would have been back by now if she was coming back. So
yeah, I've kind of made it clear that I think that she's not coming back this year.
I don't think so anymore.
She's just enjoying. I think this is like the last time she took a break from wrestling and just was like, I don't want to do this. Like, you guys don't, you don't value or appreciate what you had. So it's like, I have to do what's best for me.
And she could probably get more money doing all this other stuff than she's making from. Because I don't think WWE
absolutely
she's
we've seen her more than we've seen her in her whole career.
Yeah.
So this makes a whole lot of sense. Like, enjoy, get that money, get that bag. Like, she's at red carpets more. She's getting shows. Like, people are paying her for not just being a wrestler, but being this beautiful lady, this beautiful woman, and she don't have to be there much hours.
Yeah,
it works out like a win to me.
Yeah, right. It works out on every level for Sasha Banks, and I'm still under the belief she's gonna do something with Marvel. I don't think it's a coincidence she shows up at all these Marvel red carpet premieres. True. I think she's gonna do something with them in the future. But other WWE news: several stars have made their way back to WWE, unlike Sasha Banks. A new report has details on their contracts. Fightful Select reported that many of the talent brought back to SmackDown are said to be on 3-year deals that expire in 2025. Hit Row was mentioned specifically as among those names. The report adds that some of the stars brought back have talent representation that they were able to use to negotiate different contracts. That includes for some of the ability to do outside projects and use platforms that they wouldn't have been able to do when they were released. Many of the restrictions regarding those were eased up as early as WrestleMania 38 week, but they're even more loose now. Finally, the report notes that the preparation for implementing some of the returns have varied from less than a week for Karrion Kross and Scarlett, a few weeks for Johnny Gargano, and much more than a month for Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Basically, this is when they knew those people were coming back. There isn't confirmation at this time that all of the above are on 3-year deals as of yet, though. And then speaking of one of those guys, Fightful Select also reported that Johnny Gargano was pulled from a scheduled appearance for WrestleCade in North Carolina. What Cass been bringing up, Gargano was forced to withdraw since WWE Survivor Series 2022 is being held the same day. So
and Karrion Kross and Scarlett were also supposed to be there, and they got pulled as well.
So tells you that they maybe use or probably just use for media at this point. I don't know what Karrion Kross would do on Survivor Series as far as a match. And definitely I don't want to see him and Madcap Moss again.
Yeah, they just announced this week that they held. I saw that Tracy said that they held out for as long as possible to see if he was going to be able to come to WrestleCade, and I think they announced Tuesday or Wednesday that it wasn't going to happen. So
or maybe a mixed tag match with Scarlett and Karrion versus Emma and Madcap. Even that, I don't want to see.
Put it on the pre-show.
I don't want to see that either. But
don't want to see it at all. Please don't. Thanks, guys.
AEW news: Andrade El Idolo was in the headlines again, as he will not be able to appear at this weekend's RGR Lucha Libre show due to what appears to be a medical issue. The AEW star was booked to appear at the November 20th show in Cadary, California. However, RGR posted a video to Facebook featuring El Idolo in a hospital gown, in which he said he won't be able to make the show. Andrade spoke to fans from a hospital bed as he went there for undisclosed reasons. Andrade said that he would later explain the situation. He said in the video, "Greetings to all my friends in Los Angeles. I would have loved to meet you all this Saturday. I had an issue to attend. I will be giving more details about it at a later date. If it had been up to me, I would have loved to be there with you all. I hope to see you all again in Los Angeles, and I apologize." Andrade will be replaced by Rey Fenix, who will face off with Jalistico at the event. And it should be noted, Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer talked about the video, and he said the suspended Andrade El Idolo. So that seems to confirm that he was suspended following his backstage fight with Sammy Guevara. What have you been hearing about the whole Andrade and AEW situation, as it's kind of been more of one of the backstage situations that's been quieter than the other ones?
Yeah, I didn't hear much, honestly, about it at all until, I guess, what Dave said, that he was suspended, which I kind of thought that was the impression that everybody got anyway. But was he on TV last night, though?
No.
It was Roosh. Was it just Roosh?
Roosh, yeah,
it was just Roosh. I couldn't remember if he was there with them or not. I was like, was he there or not? But yeah, I guess he is. I don't know how long he's suspended for. Sammy didn't get suspended. So
Sammy won a main event the same day he got into a fight.
Right?
Not keeping that same energy is AEW forte. I don't know what's going on there, but it doesn't seem like they are at all when it comes to those two. But coming up, AEW's next pay-per-view after tonight, AEW Full Gear, will be AEW Revolution. We have some report on that. According to Fightful Select, most of the talent that they have spoken to in the company expect the pay-per-view to take place either March 4th or March 5th, 2023 in San Francisco, California at the Chase Center. AEW Revolution took place on March 6th in 2022 in Orlando and March 7th in 2021 from Daly's Place. AEW has yet to confirm a date for the 2023 edition. But speaking of AEW Full Gear tonight, Saraya has had the big match coming up with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. We're going to give our predictions for that. A new report notes that she was confident before she signed with AEW that she'd be cleared. According to Fightful Select, Tony Khan told the site that Saraya had been confident that she would be able to get medically cleared to wrestle, and he took her at her word. Khan noted that if Saraya had been unable to get cleared, they had other ideas for her, and that she would have served as an ambassador for the company, but she will compete against Britt Baker tonight on the show. NJPW news, Carl Anderson has finally addressed his never openweight championship status and if he will defend again in NJPW on the latest edition of WWE's After the Bell podcast with Corey Graves. On his future plans for the title defense, he says, I'm going to go back on my time. New Japan Pro Wrestling usually strips their champions when they can't make a show. They threw a leniency in there because they announced the match when we hadn't totally agreed what we were going to do. The dates were coming up. I'm going to come back and defend my championship. I messaged Rocky Romero. He's a great friend, one of the Office brothers. And I go, I can't wait to announce this date because these people are really hating me right now. I'm keeping this title and never giving it back. So it sounds like to me, we're going to get Carl Anderson at Wrestle Kingdom. Do you think, Krssi Luv, it's worth New Japan kind of not seeming like they are behind their word or keeping the same energy in this situation to have a WWE star on the Wrestle Kingdom card? Is it worth the trade-off?
Is it worth it? I kind of think it is, though. I kind of think it is because, you know, people that are WWE fans will, you know, maybe will watch that, you know, watch it like they've never watched it before. So I think it might be a good deal for them. I mean, only Carl knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they gave him like you said, they gave him leniency. Like, you want to work over here? Sure. But I need you to make sure that you come back over here and do these things. So hopefully he's keeping his agreement. And if not, I guess Papa H will just have to buy it out and, like, you know, pay the remainder of the contract so he can stay on this side of the town.
Papa H is doing his best to kind of I want to say he's trying to ease, you know, open the forbidden door, but really he's just trying to fuck with Tony Khan. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's really what it is. Yes.
Yeah, that's all it really
always. Is. Like, he'd be like, yo, they'll take my money before they'll take yours.
Pretty much. Kind
of, that's what it is. Like, he would have the argument, you'll sell more with me than them.
Pretty much, yeah, right there. We got ALW, Alan Weinstein, with the super chat donation. Thank you so much, ALW. We appreciate it. He says, seems clear to me TK had chosen Sammy over Andrade. Yeah, like, he can say whatever. I hope someone asks him that during the media scrum. Like, why is Sammy still on TV? He has a championship match on this card, but we haven't heard anything about Andrade.
No.
Right.
No.
He ain't ready to answer that, though. Mm-hmm. He'll probably go around that. But that's Full Gear is not the only big show this weekend. We got tomorrow morning NJPW X Stardom Historic Crossover lineup. They have a good lineup set for tomorrow. You got, I'll go from bottom to top, ending with the main event here. Well, I'll get your predictions on the main event, maybe, or maybe not. Tomohiro Ishii, Yoshihashi, Yo, and Leo Rush will face House of Torture's Evil, Yujiro Takahashi, Sho, and Dick Togo in an 8-man tag. You'll have Lady C, Azium, and Saya Kamatani versus Mai Sakura, Himika, and Thekla. When I heard the name for Thekla, I was like, her name's Thekla because she's Thek. Get it? She's Thek. She's a Thek girl, Thekla.
Right. SP. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was good.
I'm giving it a thumbs up. You can't see it, but thumbs up in you right now. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You also got Tom Lawler. He's going to be teaming up with the World of Stardom champion Shuri. You also got they be facing the 5-star Grand Prix winner Julia and Zack Sabre Jr. in a mixed tag matchup. Meltear, Taishi, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru of Suzuki-gun will verse another Suzuki-gun.
Like Mortal Kombat almost.
They do. They will race another Suzuki-gun pairing as they'll race El Desperado and Doki, as well as Starlight Kid and Momo Watanabe. You'll also have Yatami Hayashita and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Maka and Hiroki Goto. You'll have Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito, Hiromu Takahashi, Sanada and Bushi of LIJ versus United Empires, Mark Davis, Kyle Fresher, Aussie Open, TJP, Francisco Akira, Catch 22, and Gideon Gray. You have Muta's final New Japan Pro Wrestling matchup, as Great Muta will team up with Toru Yano and Kazuchika Okada to face Great Okan, Aaron Hanare, and a mystery partner as Jeff Cobb is out injured at the moment. IWGP United States Championship matchup, Will Ospreay will go one-on-one with Shota Umino, and to crown...
He's so sexy. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Put some water on you. I mean, for the IWGP Women's Championship, the first champion will be crowned, as it'll be Mayu Iwatani versus Kairi to crown the first ever champion. What? I'm going with Kairi.
Yeah,
Kairi.
I think we're all are in.
That's a safe money, right? That's a safe money bet.
That would be the smart one.
Yeah.
Put it on the star power. I always say that. Put it on the star power. Because
those people are gonna go and look at that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You got a few WWE fans that will hear Kairi is a champion in New Japan. They were like, right. I thought New Japan didn't even have girls. Like, what's going on here? And then they'll start watching because of that. It's pretty simple. I think it's the right decision. I think it's the popular decision, what everybody's looking for tomorrow's show. So we'll see there. Impact Wrestling news, they had announced that it will return to Canada on March 24th and 25th, 2023 for Sacrifice and the TV tapings following. The shows will take place from Windsor, Ontario. One of the independent stars, the up-and-coming independent stars, very young up-and-coming star, Billy Starks, is heading to MLW Major League Wrestling, making her debut at the Blood and Thunder event in January. MLW announced that Starks will make her first appearance for the company at the January event in Philadelphia. I know you're a fan of Billy Starks. Happy to see her in MLW.
Hey man, anywhere. She'll be all over the place next year because she turns 18 in December. So boom, you'll see her all over the place, man. So yeah, anywhere she gets booked, I'm happy for, even if it is MLW, whatever.
Even though it's only for a hot dog and a handshake. Yeah. And then finally, the final news note: GCW has their big Aura event tonight. They got tomorrow night, Nick Wayne versus Alec Price. You got Maki Ito making her return to GCW to versus Masha Slamovich. You got Charles Mason versus Ali Catch in a rivalry that's been building for the last couple of months. Speedball Mike Bailey versus Jonathan Gresham in a rematch of their first time encounter a couple of weeks back. Matt Cardona versus Jordan Oliver. You got Blake Christian versus Leon Slater versus Tony Deppen versus Ninja Mac. Second Gear Crew. Yeah, that will be crazy. Second Gear Crew versus Dark Sheet, Sawyer Wreck, and John Wayne Murdoch. And Los Masitos will defend the GCW World Tag Team titles against the main event, one of the East Coast good tag teams over here that we see on the New York scene. Want to get a couple of comments here. We got Nick Jackson who says, "Oh, damn, get well soon." Jeff Cobb, who's missed a couple of shows for in NJPW over the last couple of weeks. He also says Julia is so good. We got Frantic World says she is a thick girl. Thick, not thick. Thick. Thick
girl. Because I will say, because from looking at the picture, she didn't look very thick. But okay, I was like, okay, it's not supposed to be thick. It's thick. Okay, great.
Thick. Her name's Thekla because she's thick. Also Frantic World that says Starks is so good, talking about Billy Starks. And Nick Jackson says Jordan Oliver is really good too. But let's talk about the show everybody's looking forward to. Go ahead, guys.
So GCW is doing, they're doing JCW today.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure AJ Gray makes his return today.
Oh, really?
It looks
I didn't
like
know
it was
that.
Second Gear Crew versus somebody, and I'm pretty sure I saw his face. It was all four of them, and he was on the poster I saw today. So I did not know that until this morning when I was trying to prep a little bit before I got on here.
Yeah.
And I saw that, so I thought that was pretty cool. So it looks like, and I think the last time we saw him was in Nashville when he lost the belt.
Yeah, when he lost it to Cole Radrick in the scramble. Yeah,
the scramble in Nashville. So that's gonna be awesome. I'm a big AJ fan, regardless of what everybody else thinks. I'm all about AJ. I support AJ. So I can't wait to see him wrestle today. I think that starts right now. It's at 1:00, so that's on right now.
You know what to watch when we're done here. So let's get through the Full Gear predictions here. We got the 0 hour pre-show before the 8 p.m. start time. Tony Khan has said the media call, it's not going to start at 7. We're only going to have a few matches. And then he names 3 matches for this card. that will probably start at like 7:15, if not at 7.
We'll run that video package we saw afterwards.
Afterwards. Yeah, I was like, wait, did the show go off? And then I'm like, wait, no, they're showing like I love it. It's like the lead up to like a boxing or whatever. Like there's like it makes it like
used to do that when I was a kid.
Their countdowns, AEW countdown shows always deliver. They're really good.
No, they're really good. I love that that makes them like different. Like they do different things, and this is like you need these just to refresh you, like to like give you a build up, like something to make this show meaningful. Like I want you to watch it because look at these matches, look at these people like giving their blood, sweat, and tears for you to be watching these events. You know, like I love it.
Yeah, it's nostalgic for me too, like because it just reminds me of like the old like early 90s, late 80s when you used to get a control center and then the countdown show just to sell the pay-per-view.
Yep.
So,
Even as early as like NXT during NXT when they were first on the WWE Network, a lot of their video package used to be like the sit down, the guy the two competitors talking back and forth, like what they do with the countdown. So I don't know why they went away from that because that's a really good way and simple way to tell your stories. But AEW Full Gear 0 Hour pre-show, you got QT Marshall, Cole Carter, Aaron Solo, Nick Comoroto, and Lee Johnson of the Factory. They'll be going up against AEW All-Atlantic Champion Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, Rocky Romero, and a very nice, very evil, very mysterious partner.
I was like, ain't Rocky Romero the guy that I met at ROH? And I was like, damn.
Yes.
How did I not put 2 and 2 together? I was like, where was I at? I was like, wow. Okay, sorry.
Who you got, Krssi?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Is it?
No, not really. Best friends, and no, because I like the Hills, but I know they're not gonna win, so that's why I like Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends are gonna win.
Yeah, is that still like a variation of the Chaos team since Rocky's in there and the Best Friends?
Yeah, they're still members of Chaos, but whenever it's Orange Cassidy and Best Friends, I just call them all Best Friends.
Yeah, that's who's going to win, I assume.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
This one should be really, really good. A special treat added to the 0 Hour pre-show. Eddie Kingston goes one-on-one with Pro Wrestling Noah legend, All Japan legend, Jun Akiyama. This is Eddie Kingston's dream match. And once again, Eddie Kingston is making everybody watch the 0 Hour pre-show. He did that at All Out with Tomohiro Ishii, and this match will make some people watch the 0 Hour pre-show.
What was it he said? He predicted what kind of match it's going to be and what level it's going to be on. And named some other matches and said it's going to be like that. They're just going to beat the shit out of each other for 15 minutes. So.
Yeah, I got Kingston winning here. Who you got?
I just love when Eddie Kingston just takes the shirt off and get ready to get slapped on. It's great.
Yeah, it's going to be Kingston. He has to win right here, right?
Kingston for sure.
Yeah,
Kingston all the way from all of us. And then finally, the 0 Hour pre-show, I guess main event, AEW World Title Eliminator semifinals. Ricky Starks going one-on-one with Brian Cage, a battle of the former Team Taz members, with the winner going on to face Ethan Page on Wednesday's Dynamite. Krssi Luv has Ricky Starks. I got Ricky Starks. Cass.
Yeah, I'm going Ricky Starks.
Everybody got Ricky Starks. Now, let's get into the main card and let's talk about one of the most outrageous matches that you didn't think you would see on an AEW pay-per-view, as the last outlaw, Jeff Jarrett, will team with Jay Lethal in his AEW debut to verse Sting and Darby Allin. Now, guys, just in case y'all forgot, this is Jeff Jarrett, who spends his days working hard on the go, but the hands on the clock keep spinning real slow. He can't wait till he gets alone with his baby tonight. And remember, he ain't the king. He ain't the Rock. Don't want to hear your big mouth talk. It's his world. Cass, who you got?
Bro, I'm a huge Jeff Jarrett fan. You know this, I think. But probably gonna be Sting and Darby to win. But I want Jeff Jarrett to win. I want Jeff Jarrett to win. Not Jay Lethal's there, but I want Jeff Jarrett to win. I'm a big Jeff Jarrett fan. Jeff Jarrett's awesome. I think it's a great sign bringing him in. Like, I just love that they brought him in. He's going to do great things for the company behind the scenes, taking over live events and stuff that he was doing. And I mean, he's just an asset. So, and he can still go. I don't care what people say, man. As old as he is, that dude can still get it done in the ring. So it's going to be great. I'm going to look forward to it. And there's a lot of storytelling here that people are just like, this seems like it's put pieced together, but not, dude, Sting, and they got such a history. And it just makes sense. And then, yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. I definitely think Sting and Darby are going to win, but my heart, I want Jeff Jarrett. So
your heart is for Double J. Double J.
Always.
Krssi, who you got?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Sting and Darby.
Yeah. I always say this: death, taxes, and Sting wins in AEW. There's a
Sting wins at all pay-per-views. They might lose during the weekdays, but on pay-per-views, he wins.
Oh, yeah.
And I see a bunch of people. No, he's never lost. He never lost in AEW. He's undefeated in AEW.
Sting?
Yes.
So all the matches that he's been in, he's won them all. Okay, well then I stand corrected, friend.
Every one of them. I've seen people saying this is a piss break. This is the match that they're not interested in. Sting and Darby always deliver, though.
Yeah, they always.
Sting's leaping off something.
He's always gonna jump off something, and he's gonna the face paint gonna be going in like 5 minutes. Yeah, he'll jump off of something, and then the match is over. Give it a good 10 minutes.
Dude, and everybody talking shit. They think it's Jeff Jarrett. So Jeff Jarrett can't go. You're gonna be surprised, man. Jeff Jarrett's gonna go all out tonight. Not to pun the fucking pay-per-view thing there, but Jeff Jarrett's gonna kick ass tonight. It's gonna be great.
Yep,
he will. He will definitely deliver when he needs to be, because it's Jeff Jarrett, Sting, Darby. I think they will all, and Jay Lethal will all deliver here.
Oh yeah.
One of the other non-title matches on this card will be a steel cage match as the grudge, the feud, the rivalry of Jurassic Express finally blows off here. Jungle Boy Jack Perry going one-on-one with Luchasaurus. It was over the summer, Christian Cage turned on Jungle Boy. These two men were supposed to face at All Out, but Luchasaurus finally chose his side and chose the side of Christian, laying out Jungle Boy with a choke slam on the steel stage. Jungle Boy was out for a little while after Luchasaurus defeated him in a one-on-one match on Dynamite in October, until Luchasaurus got a shot at the All-Atlantic Championship, which Jungle Boy cost him that victory, laying him out, putting him through a table beneath the stage, and now they meet inside of a steel cage. Who do you got in this one, Cass?
You know, I think Luchasaurus needs this win more than I think it. Jungle Boy can get away with not winning this match, and it'll be okay for him. But I think if Luchasaurus doesn't go over, then why do we even?
He's meaningless.
He's pointless, meaningless. Why are we going to take him seriously as being a threat? Like, they've done a good job right now. Like, every time you think he's going to lose, he ends up winning and getting the best of Jungle Boy. And I think that needs to keep happening to make him be this monster, like big man that you are building him up to be, that he should have been from the beginning. Because he was the biggest guy in the company from day one, basically, up until now he's not. But he was for the longest time, and you didn't even use him as a big guy. You had him as a big guy just doing kicks and just as being a novelty act. So, I mean, if you're building him up to be what they're doing right now, is to be a force, a threat, you have to have him win here. And I don't think it hurts Jack Perry at all, Jungle Boy, to lose. But if I had to guess, I think they'll probably put Jack Perry over, even though I think it's not the decision. But
what about you, Krssi?
I am all with Cassidy. I feel like Homeboy really needs to win, because it's the whole heel turn. You went with him and then you turn back. It's like Luchasaurus, like, make it make sense. It's like, why are you the heel? Why do we do this thing again? Like, why do we turn on him? It has to be meaningful. And unless it's just, now it just feels pointless if he does lose. Jungle Boy is still going to be hot regardless. I'm going to pick Luchasaurus, even though I don't think that they'll go that route, though.
If this wasn't a steel cage match, I would agree with everything you're saying here. If this was like a no DQ, a false count anywhere, I'd be like, yeah, Luchasaurus should probably win here. But because it's a steel cage, which is relatively used and been protected,
I feel like it's not over yet. I feel like they're gonna have another match though too.
Yeah,
I don't think Luchasaurus and him are gonna have a match for a while after this. I think that they will go back to this rivalry when Christian is back, but I think the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy part of this is over here, so that's why I have Jungle Boy winning.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. I like it. I like that.
That's kind of what I was saying. Like, I think they're going to put him over here, Jungle Boy, just because like that just seems like the booking way to go. But to me, it would just make more sense. But what do I know? I'm just a guy.
Just a regular.
Yeah.
TBS Championship up for grabs as Jade Cargill will defend against quote unquote the other TBS champion, Nyla Rose. This all started at Battle of the Belts when Nyla Rose stole the TBS championship from Jade Cargill and has been posing as the TBS champion ever since then. Been actually mimicking a lot of Jade Cargill's, been harassing her and taunting her with the title ever since then. But it's gonna all blow off here at Full Gear. What have you thought about the feud, and who do you think wins, Miss Krssi Luv?
Feud has been a little up and down, fizzled, fickle. But I think that is going to be Jade.
Jade for the win. Cass,
yeah.
What about
you? I want Nyla to win because I'm a huge. That's my friend. That's my fan. I love Nyla. We're homies, but I think Jade's going to get it. But I love this storyline. I really think it's been great.
Yeah,
I think it's given Nyla such a fucking platform to showcase her personality and just
yes, that's what I've loved about it. Like when she did the song, and I was like, yo, it brought me to like MTV 90s. I was like, ugh. And I said, hey, yay.
So good.
Oh my, so good. Like
she's so hilarious.
Guys, back in the 90s, that was a thing, you know?
And to hear that Tony Schiavone was the one who came up with the idea for this to highlight just how funny Nyla Rose is. I think this feud has been a success. I think it's gotten more eyes back on Nyla Rose. People realize
up and
how
down
funny.
Though, like 1 week you don't get them, and then it's
No, they pretty much have been featured either on Dynamite or Rampage every single week. You just have to watch both. I tend to hear that a lot from the people that just watch one or the other. They're like, "Oh, I didn't get it."
I watch both. It's just that one is either they're doing like a little like backstage thing, or they're going to be on TV.
But that's the point of maximizing your minutes, and that's what Nyla Rose has done. It doesn't matter if it's 30 seconds or 3 minutes. She's made herself stand out in this feud, and I like the feud in that it's a heel versus heel, but they haven't really made it clear who they want you to think is the babyface. Because there's people that think that Jade has been wrong for having the title stolen from her, and then there's people that just love Nyla because she's funny, and like me, I think Nyla's the babyface.
Funny. Yeah. Okay, then I'll take back the whole fickle thing. But no, you've made your points have been proven, guys. I'm sorry.
And no, we won't see Bow Wow. I'm pretty sure.
Bow Wow she did that justice. Great job, Jade.
She's like, you can't afford me.
You never know, man. You say it, but like,
it's really true though.
We've seen. Think about all the people we have seen that doesn't make any. That it's like, why were they even there? But
Rick Ross,
this one they're
star.
teasing. Yeah, they're teasing this one at least a little bit. So I mean,
well, Bow Wow has said he wants to be in wrestling, though.
True.
And
he said it like
she wants to whoop his ass. I think too. So. I mean, they're pushing it. They're pushing the program whether or not we're going to get it or not. So, I mean, well.
Right.
True. TNT Championship will be up for grabs, and what I'm calling the beef sirloin three-way, as Wardlow will defend against ROH Television Champion Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs. Hobbs has been assaulting Wardlow for the last couple of weeks, getting his sights on the TNT Championship. Meanwhile, Wardlow had become an undefeated tag team working together until Wardlow got a little bit, too into his feelings with Powerhouse Hobbs attacking him and said he was going to take every single title, and Samoa Joe, not one to stand around and be a victim, turned on Wardlow, and this sets up the three-way here. Cass, who you got?
I think Hobbs is going to go here just because of the way they set that up to where this gives, like, we can get the title on Hobbs and then push this Joe Wardlow story in a different direction. And it doesn't really, nobody loses any momentum. Nobody gets hurt from it. Everybody comes out looking good. And we finally get Hobbs some love and a belt. And then we get, we get to continue this Joe and Wardlow program, which is going to be two guys beating the shit out of each other. This match is gonna be awesome. That's all. I can't wait for this one, honestly.
I can't wait for this one. This is one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most.
Tonight,
but I'm going with Wardlow to retain because I feels like this is the first time his rivalry or the TNT title reign feels hot. It feels like it actually has a purpose and has a story. And I think that they just use this kind of as a catalyst to split him and Joe up, but I don't think they're going to feud afterwards. I think that Joe is here to take the pin, and the real rivalry is Wardlow versus Hobbs.
Okay.
And I think Hobbs will eventually take the title from Wardlow, but I don't think it will be here.
Not now. All right. I like that too. As long as we get to the same spot. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter how we're getting there.
Yeah, that's all we really need. Yeah. I would love Hobbs to win, but yeah, I don't see him winning yet. I think Hobbs will get the pin. Well, he'll be the one that's pinned, excuse me. And I think it will leave that thing for Joe for them both to have a title against each other, but it'll be more for the ROH, and then he would probably like drop it or whatever. Anywho, Wardlow's gonna win though.
Warlow. So 2 for Warlow, 1 for Powerhouse. Let's
go out on a limb here. That's it.
I mean, I would hope that is the thing that does happen though. I hope I am wrong.
AEW World Tag Team Championships up for grabs. The Acclaimed Max Caster, Anthony Bowens defend against Swerve in Our Glory in the third part of the trilogy. Going into All Out, I keep bringing this up because it's quite astonishing. This is probably the most overachieving AEW World Tag Team program they have ever done. Because going into All Out, it didn't have much build at all. And out of nowhere, the Chicago fans made the Acclaimed into one of the most popular acts in all of wrestling. The Acclaimed came up short. Swerve in Our Glory retained, but then the Acclaimed defeated Swerve in Our Glory at Grand Slam in their home state of New York, winning the titles there. Since then, Swerve has gone off the deep end and has decided that he will be sneaky Swerve, broken the fingers of Billy Gunn. He's cheated to win to beat Billy Gunn, then broke the arm, aggravated the shoulder of Anthony Bowens. We've had music videos back and forth. We've had scissoring. It's been quite the entertaining, but like I said, the most overachieving AEW World Tag Team program with how the Acclaimed have taken the mantle of the champions. Swerve feels like he's on the cuffs of being one of the top heels in the promotion.
Yep.
Keith Lee is always great. What do you think? Who do you think wins here, Cass?
The Acclaimed. I don't think it's time. They're so hot right now. Like taking the belts off them just seems like a dumb decision. To me, and I think, like you said, it looks like they're setting up Swerve the break finally, which we kind of saw coming. But it just makes sense to me to keep the Acclaim over right now, especially if you're looking like we're going to end up having the break between Swerve and Keith Lee. Why would you put the belt on just to have it? To have them split up. I mean, it would work. It could work, but to me, I just see the Acclaim. I don't see how you can take the belts off the Acclaim right now, bro. They're selling so many shirts. The crowd loves them. It's the most
it's just a part of
the company. They're too hot. They're too hot to lose right now. So Acclaimed.
I agree.
Acclaim for sure. Break up Keith and Swerve. They'll have a match probably, and then have Keith go for the TNT title. Have him go against the other big guys. Like he's the only beef missing from the 4 guys right now. I mean the three that are wrestling.
Yeah. I agree. Keith Lee, he was kind of in that mix at Revolution before the team started. Yes. So it would be interesting. But yeah, I think this will be the catalyst for Swerve finally going officially heel against Keith Lee. But I got the Acclaim winning as well. Let's talk about the AEW Interim Women's World Championship match. Toni Storm will defend against Jamie Hayter. Toni Storm won the interim title at All Out in a four-way in which a lot of people felt Britt Baker screwed Jamie Hayter out of the championship. Since then, Jamie Hayter has been picking up momentum, getting more and more of a response from the AEW crowd. She feels like the hottest act in the women's division. She's picked up wins against Riho, Sky Blue, among others, to set up this matchup here. Former friends turned enemies. They were roommates during the pandemic, but then Toni Storm came to AEW, and Jamie Hayter has been aligned with Britt Baker, been attacking her at will. Who walks out with the gold here, Krssi?
Oh, I want Jamie Hayter to win. Oh, I would love for her to win this. But I think something's going to happen to interfere and have Toni win. So I'm going to pick Toni.
Cass?
Same thing. I would love them to pull the trigger on Jamie Hayter here, but I think, especially like when you read over those Toni Storm comments earlier about the interim title and how the way she pretty much put the title into perspective there about like if I lose this belt and don't get the, it just doesn't make sense to have her lose it right now. It sucks it's taking so long to get to that Thunder Rosa match, but I don't know, man. I want Jamie Hayter to go here because, like you said, she feels like the hottest act in the company right now in the women's division, and eventually she's got to get some gold. But I don't know if it's the time right now. I think we get what you said, some kind of interference, some kind of funny finish or whatever, and we get Toni Storm with the win, and then it progresses the storyline with the dissension with Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker and Rebel and everybody. But
yeah,
I think that's where we go with it.
So I've been making a point for a while now that Cody Rhodes should not be the one to beat Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, because it's more about Cody winning the title than him beating Roman. And whoever beats Roman, it should be about them beating Roman and ending his title run more than anything. It should be about that more than them just winning the title. This is a kind of an issue with the whole Jamie Hayter here that, I would love to see her win because she's so hot, but is this really the thing that people are going to remember, or is the real star-making moment for Jamie Hayter is when she turns on Britt Baker? That's what I think it is. Yeah. And that's why I think
that's the match that you put the belt on her too.
Yes.
It's like, I think eventually you'll get the belt back on Britt, and then Jamie needs to take the belt from Britt if you go that storyline. Or
even do a triple threat. My idea was Tony wins here, then Tony beats Thunder Rosa to unify the title, and then you do a triple threat with Tony, Britt, and Jamie, and then you make the decision there. It's either or. You either have Britt finally turn on Jamie and win back the title, or you have Jamie just said, enough of your shit, and she pins Britt to become the champion.
That's good booking.
Enough of your shit. Yep. I like the enough of your shit one.
One thing that I will say that I am pet peeved, if you saw my Full Gear preview or saw me talk about Full Gear this week, this is one match I don't think should even be on this show, but it will be great. For the Ring of Honor World Championship, Chris Jericho will defend against Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Sammy Guevara. This is an extension of the Blackpool Combat Club versus Jericho Appreciation Society feud. Chris Jericho won the Ring of Honor World Championship from Claudio at Grand Slam. He then successfully defended the title against Bryan Danielson, thanks to Daniel Garcia in Toronto in October. Claudio has picked up 2 huge tag team wins over Jericho, tapping him out most recently on Dynamite, while Sammy Guevara is kind of here for Jericho to say that he has a member of the Jericho Appreciation Society involved here, but Sammy has been teasing that he is looking out for himself and will try to win the title. But this match should not be going on here, because if anybody remembers, I don't know if I'm the only one that remembers or not, but a month ago, this had nothing to do with this rivalry. This rivalry was all about Daniel Garcia being in the middle of both stables and being pulled by his hero, Bryan Danielson, and his mentor, Chris Jericho. Okay, maybe they wrap that up and they transition it nicely into another cool element of this feud, which was Wheeler Yuta being mad at Bryan Danielson for trying to recruit Daniel Garcia, and them having dissension with one another, where Yuta's like, you didn't have to try to recruit me. I wanted to be in Blackpool Combat Club. 2 interesting stories that they completely dropped to do this 4-way here, when the logical thing to do at Full Gear was the 6-man. It was Bryan, Claudio, and Yuta versus Sammy, Garcia, and Jericho. And then you do the 4-way at Final Battle, because one of Bryan or Claudio needs to be the person who beats Jericho and takes this title. And I don't think it's happening here. I think Jericho's going to win here, because this match shouldn't be happening on this damn show.
Yeah.
Cass.
Yeah, I don't know why this match is on the show, especially when you got Final Battle, 2 weeks later? Or whatever, and literally 10 days, 12 days later or something like that. So it's like, what? Why not just push that for that or set it up for there? But I guess we're going to get some kind of... the ROH title has to be defended on Final Battle, right? So whatever happens in this match, I guess, is going to set up that, which makes me think and wonder if it's not going to have something to do with Sammy and Chris Jericho at Final Battle somehow to get to that. So whatever might happen in the match tonight, I think, is going to push us there. So I don't know. I think it's either Chris Jericho is going to win and it sets up a match with Sammy, or maybe Sammy gets it and then Jericho gets it back 2 weeks later. I don't know. But I think that's where those are the two people I think are going to win here. I don't know. I really don't know on this match because it just seems kind of thrown together and kind of I don't really know the direction we're going. I can't figure it out. But my guess is we're going to get a Jericho Sammy match next or 2 weeks.
Krssi, who you got?
I'm gonna go Chris Jericho. I don't see it coming off him just yet because he has to do his reign of like beating all the other champions, I guess. So.
But who else is left for him to bring in for that too? They kind of ran that out too. I mean,
true, because he's beating all of these guys too, right?
Yeah, I mean, it got to the point where it's like they brought Colt Cabana in to fill that role, which was cool. But like, you know, who else can you do? If he's going to keep bringing ROH champions, like what other ones do we have? I don't know.
This is just confusing. So who you got, Krssi?
I got Chris Jericho. What do you have?
Yeah, I got Jericho like I said.
I'll go Jericho too, I guess.
I got Jericho. This match shouldn't be happening. One match that should be happening on this card is one of the biggest women's matches in AEW history. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, going one-on-one with the returning Saraya. Saraya made her debut in AEW back at Grand Slam. It looked like she was coming back to be cleared to the ring, but they waited a while to make that clear. 2 weeks ago, she announced she had been cleared to compete after receiving word on Halloween, and it set up this matchup here. Britt Baker scorched earth on Saraya last week when she told her that this is her house. She doesn't allow walk-ins, make an appointment, bitch, and then cut one of the best promos of her career on Dynamite this past week. Saraya hasn't been in the ring in 5 years after suffering a neck injury that forced her to retire. Who wins here, Miss Kriss Luv?
Oh, God, I don't know. I'm conflicted. This is really, really hard because one, she hasn't wrestled in like 5 years. So you would think that she should win, but
she should also be rusty and not up.
Right. She's probably gonna I hope she's definitely gonna be rusty and sloppy. So I'm like, my expectations for this match is not that high, which is really, really sad to say because love women's wrestling, duh. But like this is hard because I feel like this is gonna be one of those matches like it won't deliver. I'm so afraid for it. I'm really like, oh.
So who you got winning?
I guess Saraya. I don't know. Saraya. I'll go with Saraya.
I think it's pretty clear Saraya has to win.
Yeah,
she has to win.
I think you can get away with doing this one as another like unclean finish. Have something happen where like you can even progress the Jamie Britt dissension a little bit. Have something happen there. You know, just to push. You know, Saraya probably needs to win because she hasn't been. You know, it's her first match back in 5 years. It'll be the big feel good moment, but you don't need to really have her win clean here to get the same.
Yeah, effect. Let it be dirty. Let it be something
happen, or just miscommunication. They mess up, and then you just capitalize off of it, where it's not like she does something, dirty finish, just an unclean finish. Yeah. It's a miscommunication finish. Something can happen, but yeah, I think you go Saraya here. It doesn't make any sense not to. I mean, you brought her in for a reason, right?
Right. Yeah. So she has to be getting. Someone is going to come and help mess up this match, though. That's
there. You
sure.
Go. That's what I'm getting at.
Somebody's going to come and do something.
I don't really think that. I think the right move is to just have Saraya win clean.
It would look better.
I think Britt getting involved in the championship match makes more sense than Jamie getting involved here. But
or it could be like Rebel, like I said, like Rebel.
Yeah, Rebel.
Rebel's supposed to help and somehow, and then she botches it, and then it ends up costing. So, I mean, that's kind of where I was getting. It doesn't necessarily have to be Jamie, but somebody in the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
This is the match I'm looking forward to the most on tonight's show. AEW World Trios Championships up for grabs. Death Triangle versus the first ever Trios champion, the Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks making their first appearance since AEW All Out. At that pay-per-view, they defeated the Dark Order and Hangman Page to win the titles to the inaugural championships. But of course, they got into the whole brawl out situation with CM Punk, where Kenny Omega saved an animal and still got suspended. But we are back here after weeks of vignettes teasing their return. It was made official on Dynamite this week. Who walks out with the Trios titles? Obviously, I'm going for the Elite. They need their titles back. And I am calling House of Black to come out and attack both teams. after the match.
I like it. I like that.
I'm here for all of it. Yep. The Elite definitely will win. And then, yes, House of Black comes back. And then we're going to have like a three-way match. It's great.
I don't want the Elite to win here. I feel like I want Death Triangle to win just because, like, if you have the Elite come back and beat them, it's just like, oh, well, you definitely were just fucking placeholders that meant nothing. You know? It's like, oh, well, they're suspended. So yeah, but if you can make it.
I know what you're that saying, way. Cassidy. I know.
I don't think they even need to win right here. People are going to be just happy they're fucking back. They don't care if they get the belts right here. So I want Death Triangle to win. And I liked your idea of having House of Black interfere and make that, the reason that Death Triangle keeps the belts, maybe. You know what I mean? That way that way their run is legitimate, and it's not just like, oh, the only reason you had the belts in the first place is because they were gone. And then as soon as they came back, obviously it showed that you didn't deserve them in the first place. So this would make it, I don't know, it would legitimize Death Triangle's title run, and then I don't think you need to have the belts on them. So I'm going to go Death Triangle, even though I know I'm going to be wrong.
And you can do it in a way where the House of Black costs the Elite, where they're not really like, they can set up that program, but they could also just be attacking the Elite and costing them because they know they can beat Death Triangle. They don't know if they can beat the Elite.
Yeah, so there's options there. So, I mean, you got ways to save everybody's face and make everybody come out looking good here, but will we get there? Will we do it? We'll see. But I'm going to go Death Triangle, even though I know I'm going to be wrong.
Shall see tonight, but of course the big match, the main event, Jon Moxley defending the AEW World Championship against the number one contender, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. It was at All Out. MJF returned to AEW, having the firm hand him over the poker chip from the casino ladder match where he got a shot at the AEW World Championship whenever he wanted. Jon Moxley got here by winning the Tournament of Champions, defeating Bryan Danielson to win his third AEW World title at Grand Slam. Since then, MJF has been in the skybox watching over a lot of Moxley's matches. We've had MJF and William Regal discuss their past, where William Regal basically turned down MJF after his WWE tryout, made MJF want to kill himself and quit the business. So he's created this chip on his shoulder to get here to this moment. And because of what William Regal said, where MJF hasn't proven himself to be a real villain, he says he won't use the Dynamite Diamond Ring to get the win at Full Gear. He will knock out Jon Moxley. No Dynamite Ring necessary. He had the firm on his side, then he didn't. The firm turned on him. He got some revenge on the firm this past week. A lot of different elements going into this main event. But who walks out with the AEW World title and how? Miss Krssi Luv.
MJF wins, of course. William Regal will definitely be a factor in this match. Sad to say, but yes, I definitely think MJF will win. And John could have his little break that he was looking for from before. But now his wife works at the company, so what break are you really getting?
You're gonna stay right there. You're gonna be backstage, be watching the little baby. Cass, who do you think wins and how?
I think you have to put MJF. We've been waiting for this. This is the moment, I think. But how do we get there? I wouldn't. I don't know if I believe that the firm really is not working with him. I think that could be a big ruse and a big whole like, oh, I made everybody think that I fired them and that I wasn't with them, and that ends up being the reason. I would like to see that, or Regal. Like I saw somebody say Regal turning, but I don't know if it'd be so many like swerves and changes that end the show if possibly. Right. I definitely think MJF, but how? I would say the firm, something to do with the firm, to where like and it ends up being that they were still working for him all along, and that the whole thing was a plan, a charade to make Moxley think that he was on his own when he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
the firm kidnaps Regal or do something to Regal, and that's what really makes John
And I think all of this has been MJF honey dicking us. He's been honey dicking us into believing that he's a baby face. Yeah, it isn't true. He beat up the firm way too easily. But I think the more effective way to do it is to have William Regal basically choose him as the villain. Him as the villain. He will be behind. So I think in a callback to Revolution, you go back and forth. each guy kicking out of the big moves. You can have MJF go against his word and use the Dynamite Diamond Ring, but it doesn't get the job done. You could have him take the paradigm shift, and that doesn't get the job done for Moxley, to the point William Regal wants to see either man get the job done. So he takes the brass knuckles, puts it on the apron like Wardlow put the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and MJF crawls over to it, and William Regal gives him the nod of approval, and MJF uses the brass knuckles to get the win. I've been calling it since the promo. MJF will use the brass knuckles to win the AEW World title.
I like it.
I'm with it.
But that is all AEW Full Gear tonight. Live on pay-per-view, Fight TV, all that good stuff. Of course, if you want to watch along with us, we will be here, or I won't be here, but everyone else will be here. Romeo and the gang tonight, 8 p.m.
Are you going to the show?
No.
Okay.
They don't want to give, because I hang out with Cass, they don't give me
sorry,
media tickets anymore. But
they don't give them to me anymore either. So it's fine.
Guys.
AEW Full Gear watch along tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Join Romeo and the gang. We want to thank Cass for joining us, being our special guest. Tru Heel Heat 201. Cass, let the people know where they can follow you, good sir.
Guys, you can follow me on social media at whatever says right there. Casshole with 3 O's. CASSHOOOLE. That's, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever, right there. And guys, follow bodyslam.net. We appreciate all you guys and everything you guys do for us. So much love, guys. And thanks for having me on, man. I love coming on and hanging out with you guys every weekend.
Always, man. Always enjoy having you. Miss Krssi Luv, thank you as always. Let the people know where they can follow you.
Thank you guys again. Follow our flagship show, which is every Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Tru Heel Heat. Some watch along, some other shows. Serving Face and Heels. Sorry, guys. It's just scheduling and family, and my tag partner has a new job, so that's been like really taking up most of her time. But we love you guys, and we'll hopefully be back soon. Other than that, you can follow me on IG, Facebook, Twitter. Twitter's Tru Heel Krssi Luv. IG is Krssi Luv _1, or just my name, Pretty Lynch.
Very nice. Follow me on the Twitter machine.
You can watch along later.
Tru Heel SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Tru Heel Heat. Twitch.tv/Tru Heel Heat Wrestling. We'll have some gaming up on there very soon. ProWrestlingTees.com/Tru Heels. And most especially, Patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. For $3 a month, the Tru Heel Heat Prediction Champion will have predictions for Full Gear today, as well as additional content, including the Tru Heel Heat post show in about 5 minutes. If you go over to patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat, you can join me for a live edition of the post show. I want to interact with all of y'all, so join me over there if you're a Patreon backer. And I also put the link in the live chat for anyone who wants to become a Patreon backer for that. But that is all for Tru Heel Heat 201. Join us tonight for the Full Gear watch along, for our special guest Cassidy Haynes, for Miss Krssi Luv. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 201, fully gearing up for war. We are signing off until next time.